Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of my good co-host Jimmy and Schmitty. Oh, how do we start this? So it's been a couple weeks since we recorded, and I think we probably said one time or another that in the next few weeks, that we would find out what would happen with the Blackhawks, with Jonathan Toews, with Patrick Kane, and we've pretty much found out from both of them. Jonathan Toews is not going to be traded. He's been going through some long COVID and health issues, all that stuff. We'll touch on that later. But the big headline is Patrick Kane he's all pretty much but confirmed being traded to the New York Rangers. Like, everything else has happened besides the actual trade happening and him saying, "Yeah, I want to be traded." Everything else has happened besides that, and I don't really know. I don't know how to start this because it's very conflicting. Being a Blackhawks fan for 15 years, as soon as Kane and Toews joined that franchise in 2007, 2008, they were drafted in different years. Jonathan Toews 2006, Patrick Kane 2007, but ever since they entered the league, they were inseparable. Like, they were both, I think, 1 and 2 in the Calder voting the first year, and then by the second year, Blackhawks reached the conference final, and then the third year they obviously win the cup, all within the first 3 years of their entry level contracts, and they go on to have a few more deep playoff runs, including 2 more Stanley Cups before they end up getting their giant contracts, which is well within their right to do. They've really, I mean, players like Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook have come along, but really Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, those are the two main faces of the franchise. There's going to be statues built for them. They're probably both going to be in the Hall of Fame. And with the past few years, it's just nothing has really happened with this Blackhawk franchise. Like, they haven't gone anywhere, and then it's been stuck in the mud. And then, it was only really till this year that the GM finally came in, because the old management. Anyways, no, I'm not going to get into that. But we got a new general manager that finally said, "Yeah, we gotta clean this up. Like, we gotta get on with things, because what this old management's been doing for the past few years, it isn't working." And it's tough to see. Like, this is rebuild. It's not going to be easy, and we're coming to grips with that right now. And Patrick Kane, again, like, he's going to be traded. He's going to be traded to the New York Rangers. Everything is pointing to that. Like, just seeing all the insiders. Yep, the Rangers are trying to clear up cap space. Like, everything is head towards that direction. And I just don't think the Blackhawks are going to get a good return. I'm expecting so little from the return. So it sucks to see happen. I can't even necessarily blame Patrick Kane. Like, he's exercising his right. Like, this, I mean, say what you will about Patrick Kane as a person. I made this clear. I think he's a hell of a hockey player. Well, what do we always say? That he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's the Hall of good hockey players, not the Hall of good people. There's going to be a statue outside the United Centers probably in the next decade or so. Like, but the old general manager kept trading these players away. Like, it's not just this all happened at once. Like, this has been building up for years.
This is 8 years of the GM and the coach and the whole organ. Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but like,
No,
anyone who's getting pissed at Kane right now because he took his time with this decision, and oh no, the Rangers made a move beforehand, so we're gonna get screwed over. Like, how do you think this guy feels when every fucking winger he's had in the last 8 years, or anyone that he has remotely had chemistry with in the last 8 years, blasted out the fucking door for pennies on the dollar most of the time? And people want to look at him and be like, oh, well, he shouldn't do that. He should be thinking about the organization, blah, blah, blah. No, fuck that. The organization hasn't thought about him in 7 years. They haven't thought about him since they traded Artemi Panarin. And you can think about it any way you want. That's the way it is. And this is coming from a guy who came out in public and said, I'm willing to stick around through a rebuild. I'm willing to stick through this shit. Just let me have my toys while I do it. And what does Kyle Davidson do in the next 18 months? Spit in his face about every chance he can get. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me one fucking bit that Kane is basically giving him the finger right now on the way out. fuck you. You're not getting any help on this trade because you spit in my face ever since you've taken over as GM. And yeah, maybe it like, I'm sorry. He's a piece of shit. That's the way it is. That's the best fucking player that's walked into this franchise in 50 fucking years, and you spit in his face on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what the previous circumstance was. You don't do that to a franchise player. You just don't. Sorry. Like, I know I'm in the minority on this opinion. You just fucking don't. It's the same shit they did with Olczyk. It's the same shit. They do it every fucking time. And I'm over it, dude. I'm over it. And you know what? It's great. It's great because Rocky's going to fucking feel it in his wallet next season when there's not a single marketable talent on this hockey team and they lose. I'm going to go out and say they probably filled the stadium with less than 11,000. I'm just going to go out and say it. Unless Fantilli or Bedard is on this hockey team, not a snowball's chance in hell people are showing up next year. Simple as that. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, and we've talked about it for years. Like, since they've talked about doing this whole rebuild thing, we're going to really see how dedicated Rocky Wirtz is to this rebuild. Not Kyle Davidson, Rocky fucking Wirtz, the guy who ends up signing all the checks at the end of the day. Because all I've learned in the last 18 months is once this guy stops making money, he gets really short-sighted. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it. The way Patrick Kane's going out the door, you're going to lose a lot of fucking money in this case. So we're just really going to see what this, we're going to see one, how much of a leash Kyle Davidson has with this organization, because he's got to get at least the next two drafts. He's got to get at least the next two drafts. You cannot fire him before the next two drafts. If you do, you're putting the organization even more limbo than they already are. Because you could say it's a rebuild all you want. This organization has been in limbo for 6 fucking years. Like, this is like, yeah, they might have a direction now, but all right, you're at the bottom now. You are the 2016 Leafs now. You are the 2015 Sabres now. How the fuck do you get out of that hole without suffering for the next 7 to 8 years? Because I'm sorry, that's the writing on the wall at this point. I don't mean to get so adamant about this shit, but like now we're fully committed to it. So you got to look at the writing on the fucking wall at this point. If they don't get a top 2 pick, and even if they get a top 2 pick, what the...
You rip it.
You know what? I'll put this in a joking manner. Pierce, you're doing our sheet liga with the Blackhawks right now. We are in the year 2025, and according to this sim. Pierce, how much cap space do you have right now in the year 2025?
$60 million.
For reference, everyone got a free compliance buyout in that league.
I couldn't even use mine.
Pierce did not use his because he has so much fucking cap space because they have to fill a roster still. Like, whatever, man.
We said this at the beginning of the season. Like, if you want to go scorched earth, fine. Like, ripping it down the studs, that's the easy.
Better fucking nail those picks and the little amount of picks you'll have too. Because at the sounds of it, your best chance of getting another first is trading McCabe or Domi. And at that point, you're just waiting for other chips to fall. Because I'm sorry, you're not trading McCabe or Domi and getting a high enough return unless A, Chychrun gets off the block, which he's been benched for 2 weeks now. Not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, who's the other guy?
Gavrikov's a defenseman, though.
Fuck Gavrikov. There's no market for him anymore because Boston literally flirted with 2 teams and then said, fuck that, we're taking Orlov. That's literally what happened. Like, no one could tell me otherwise. They were the team that was giving a first and a third for Gavrikov. They were the team that was going to give a first, a second, and a third for McCabe and Lafferty. Like,
they were.
The Hawks are now in a position to where if they want to come out of this trade deadline with what they wanted, they're really going to have to get creative. And like, part of me thinks like with the way that moves have just been dealt before this Kane trade, Kyle Davidson's trying to do everything in his power to make this like anything into a decent return. Like, I think he's trying to package Lafferty with Kane. That's gut opinion. No source on that. No rumor, no nothing. That's just my gut opinion.
Well, he's sitting out too. There's a very good chance because I do think he wants to.
I mean, he's sat out. He's been sat out.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to do that is if you throw another piece in, because Patrick Kane, like, New York has all the leverage. Like, they can
the leverage.
We've heard like, oh, they might get Kravtsov and Jones.
So that means
they already traded Kravtsov. But first, it's completely off the window. It's even a matter of, are you even going to get a second round pick now? Like, well, best case scenario right now might be, conditional second round pick. If they win the cup, make it the cup final, make it conference final, you get a first round pick.
Dude, if you get the Taylor Hall return at this point, I'd be shocked. Like, honestly, like my pipe dream is like they get Sikora and a conditional second that could be a first. That's my dream scenario. That's how bad this situation's gotten. Like, And I'm sorry, if Kyle Davidson starts getting hissy about it, you have no one to blame but yourself in this situation. You wanted to bring the Coles to Kane and Taves. You wanted to fucking get them. You wanted to push them this bad to waive their no move so you can get a return. You got it. You're going to get like a fucking third now. And one of them's not even going to waive. He's just going to give you the finger on the way out because he's got health issues. Whatever.
They're both within their right to do it. Like,
yep. Oh, 100% in their right to do it. Like, not knocking the player in this whatsoever. Like, they have full no moves. They've won 3 cups. They've done everything for this franchise for 15 years. It's the least they could do is bring them to where they want to go. You know what I mean? Like, like I have faith in Kyle Davidson. He's a hell of a drafter from what we saw last year. He definitely has an eye for talent. But dude, you got to get better at this. You got to get better at this because you're burning a lot of bridges at this point. Like, yeah, you have your players who want to play for the city and like guys who want to play for the coach and stuff. But in terms of star players, that's 2 big ass bridges you burned right now. You burned the DeBrincat bridge and you burned the Kane bridge. I'm not saying those are even on the same level. I'm just saying eventually when this team gets to the point to where they want to sign players, why the fuck would it not saying they're going to. Why the fuck would a David Pastrnak want to sign here? Even if they offered him $13 million a year. Like, yeah, you'll give me a full no move, and then you'll rake me to the coals when I'm done. I'm serious. Like, I know it's a rash approach, but like,
it's a fair. I see where you're coming from for sure. I don't see where you're wrong necessarily at all.
It's tough. Yeah. Reality has really set in, and I want this to be over. I'm tired of the Rangers got to accrue enough cap space, this, that, and the other. They got to make moves. This has got to go. I just want.
We got to wait for Jake Lecision. We got to wait for Jake Stupid name to fucking clear waivers. Oh boy,
Bananarama to clear waivers. Yeah,
guys, they still might make another move. Like I'm so tired of this. And like at the end of the day, we'll probably get to watch. You know what's going to be great? They're going to make this trade, and Kane's going to go play with fucking Kreider, and I'm going to lose my mind. Because, like, if you make this trade and don't put Kane with Panarin, because I'm already seeing Rangers beat writers be like, well, you know, he's already playing with Tarasenko. That's his boy. And I'm just like, okay, one of them's your guy that you played well with in the World Juniors. The other one is the reason you won a fucking Calder your rookie year. Like, not saying Panarin couldn't have on his own. I'm just saying, like, those – I don't know.
Dude, they both made each other better players. Like, Kane was the best player when he was playing with Panarin.
Trocheck should just call Artem Anisimov right now and just ask him how was it, because he's going to have the easiest goals he's ever had in his life on that line. Like, whoever that center is, whether it's him, Zibanejad, like, fuck, you could even put Hedl there. Hedl with Kane would be fun. Like, whatever. Like, it'll be a fun watch, but the Hawks are just like so annoying to watch right now. Whatever.
Yeah, I just want this to be over with. Rip the Band-Aid off, whatever thing you want to use.
We've been doing this song and dance for a week now. Just fucking get it over with. That's literally the reason this podcast has been delayed, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's been delayed like 3 or 4 days. Like, yeah, we've all had scheduling issues, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well, if this Kane trade breaks, we should probably like maybe wait a little bit. But now it's just gotten to the point where, like, if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen, that just means Kane literally had a change of heart tonight. I'm genuinely serious. That's the only reason. And I don't know why he would. I don't know why. Why the fuck would you? Like, ugh.
I mean, so he's basically decided he wants to be traded, right? Like, because
no, he hasn't said anything, but he's home reflecting on his time with the team.
Yeah, so I don't really know what to get out of this completely, if I'm being honest. Like, there's a lot of different ways this could have gone to end up here. I don't know. It's just hard to make. I feel like it's hard to really understand any of what's going on because we don't really have any details besides GMs talking about players who have no movement clauses, which obviously happens all the time. GMs talk, and we just kind of slowly crawled to here. Patrick, Kane didn't want to talk about it before, which again, perfectly in his right. Like, he doesn't have to, talk about it or look into waiving it. Fucking, of course not. But we just kind of it's kind of all slowly snowballed to where we are here. It's a very quiet, empty middle ground of everything. Just a very apathetic close to it all, really. It's crazy.
It's the worst way to see probably the best player in franchise history go. It fucking sucks. Like, again, we can bring up Patrick Kane as a person off the ice. As a hockey player, he's the best player and probably the best player in franchise history. All the accolades, the Stanley Cups, the goals he scored, the huge clutch goals he scored, like those are memories I'll never forget for a lifetime. And they're just like, this is how it's going out now. You know,
Not like the reason we get so frustrated. I think the reason we're saying it's so apathetic is because there's literally two other scenarios where there's two franchises that have their cornerstones and have said, "Fuck it, we are going every year to make sure we try to make the playoffs." We make fun of them all the time because they don't have prospect pools and like they're in a weird situation now. But like, what the Caps and Pens are doing right now is what the Hawks should have been doing for like 8 years, but they were in limbo for 8 fucking years, and the fact that Taves and Kane's primes were wasted is unbelievable to me. Just like they won 3 cups before they hit their fucking prime, and you couldn't do anything after that because you had
too much money.
Management. Like 5 years, we're gonna get guys on 6-year deals that are significantly worse than the guys we traded. It all comes back to the same thing. Every fucking time. It always comes back to the same bald-headed fuck. Every time. Every fucking time.
And again, like, I don't want to. Oh, Kyle Davidson is off scot-free because
you're not off scot-free either, kid. You're right in the shithole too now. Welcome to the club. Except Kyle Davidson's in the waiting room right now of hell. Stan Bowman, he's got a fucking luxury lounge in hell right now for the shit he's done to this franchise we could even go more than the decade now. We can go more than the fucking decade if we really want to do that shit. We really want to pull 2010 into this. We can go a full fucking decade.
Well, that's the first thing you should pull, in my opinion. That's beyond hockey. That's that man's done in damage that may never be fully.
Yeah, but guys, you gotta get a job
that can never really be fully taken care of. You can never really erase that stain from the franchise. You can never. Like, I'm not worried about his him being absolved, but for the franchise, he left an irremovable stain. Fucking shame on him and for everything he did. First with Kyle Beach, of course, but if we're talking about what he's done to the franchise, yeah, he left that too. He left it smeared right in the front.
And for any team, any NHL, and if any NHL team is hiring Joel Quenneville and Stan Bowman,
shame on fucking you. Look in the goddamn mirror for 5 seconds. Oh, we want a couple more wins.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. Like,
all right, so yeah, let's segue.
There's no segue. There's literally no segue because now we got to talk about
I want to end off on this. Like, it's conflicting. Like, it's incredibly. It's not as simple as Kane wants to go. That's it. Bye bye. We'll get a good package. All things are good. It's more nuanced than that. Like, again, they won a cup within their ELC. They won 2 Stanley Cups within their second contracts, and as soon as they signed the big contracts, no winning. They didn't even win a playoff series, I don't think. And that's not their fault.
The bubble series against Edmonton.
Yeah, where Stan Bowman said, "Yeah, I'm back in business, baby. A qualifying round win against the Edmonton."
You know what's great? I'm pretty sure that was the year he came out and said we're tanking next year and sucking. Like, I'm almost positive that.
Yeah, he was like, "We got
after
that, baby. We're back." And then 2 months later, we're gonna rebuild.
We're trading for Seth Jones.
We're gonna trade Brandon Saad for fucking nothing. Sorry to Nikita Zadorov, but absolutely nothing. And then, actually, let's go trade for Seth Jones in the summer.
Not only traded Saad,
completely mortgaged his future. Anyways,
you know what? We can just leave it on this note. Imagine losing 3 Brandon Saad trades. That's just wild to me. Like, I don't think any GM has ever lost 3 trades in a row, period. You lost 3 Brandon Saad trades in a row.
With the same player, yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, unbelievable.
We can ramble on all we really want about this, but I don't even know how to end it off. Like, Kane, I really like. I hope he goes to New York and wins a Stanley Cup.
Dude,
Like,
I hope he goes to New York and at least shuts up all the analytics nerds. Like, that's all I care about at this point. Because I'm sorry. Like, you can hate him as a human being all you want. 100% warranted.
Fine,
Not even going to fucking deny you on that one. Because he is a piece of shit. He has too much of a history. He has too much of a track record. But if you're going to come out here and say he's, like, worse than a fourth liner, I'm sorry. You need to start using your eyes and watching hockey games. Because I'm sorry, your little dumb RAPM chart doesn't show everything every time. I know. Evolving Wild has told you 20 fucking times how bad he is. You want to know something what's crazy? Guess what the name of the analytics channel is? Evolving Wild. Why the fuck would they ever say anything good about him? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just get so fed up with these analytics. Like, at least Jay Fresh has gotten to the point where he's like, well, you know, you look into his micro analytics more, it kind of shows more of a story. But like the dumb just start and dropping the mic meme, like I'm so over that shit. I'm so over. Guys, graphs red must mean bad. Yeah, if the graphs are so red, then why does he have like 45 and 55? Like I just don't understand. You know, where's the mix up in the correlation? Damn, that 3% must really be good. Like, I'm sorry, like he's a piece of shit. No denying that. But the people who shit on his on ice play drives me up a wall. Just drives like this last week and a half. Literally was just Kane giving the finger to the rest of the league.
To everyone. Like everyone. Like, yeah.
Dude, the Toronto game, you know how much shit he got Wednesday when he was basically doing cardio the whole game, and then Sunday he was just like, you know what? Fuck you guys.
Yeah, let me go get a hat trick and like, you know, yeah.
Oh, guys, but he has a hip issue. So we're going to trade for Vladimir Tarasenko, who also has a back issue. Like, I'm so over this. Like, I'm so over this idea of like, you can use an argument for one player, but you can't use it for another player. Like,
well, actually,
yeah, just a bunch of whataboutisms. We'll get off the topic though, because I know Jimmy hates talking about this. So
yeah,
get off.
Yeah, it's because Jimmy is an analytics hater.
No, not that topic. We'll just get off the fucking topic. Just fucking move on.
Yeah. Yeah, Patrick Kane is done. Jonathan Taves, like,
Taves should just retire. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a Hall of Famer. Like, again, say what you will as him as a person, but like when he was at the top of his game, like he was legitimately one of the best players in the world. And I mean, the fact he even came back last season and like was scoring at a 50-point pace this season, I think is quite incredible. And I don't want him to retire because he sucks. He's a horrible hockey player, but I just want him to retire because he's 30. He turns 35 in April. Like,
there's no reason. There's no reason to keep playing when you got that.
Go live the rest of your life, and also like from everything I've heard, this is the kind of guy that could be a coach, be a general manager. He's gonna be back in the game of hockey.
Just save your body. Take care of your body. Worry about the rest of your life. You got 3 cups. You're one of the more accomplished players in all of Canada, like Hockey Canada history. Just go out. Just walk out. Yeah, just go. You're done.
I mean, hell, you proved everyone wrong this year. Like, after last year, people were like, you should have just hung him up. This year, like, he almost had the Hossa thing.
Played it all, dude. The fact that he played it all is impressive. Like, it's shocking.
He kind of went out like Hossa to an extent. Hossa went out like he had still gas in the tank. Like, he scored 30 goals the final year. I'm pretty sure, close to it. Taves was on the 23 goal pace.
23. It was 23 for Hossa back then, but that would be like, what, 30 something nowadays.
I mean, that was back when the leading scorer was like Connor McDavid with
Jamie Benn.
He got 150 games this year, so.
Yeah, Jamie Benn had an 87-point Hart Trophy year. Or not Hart Trophy, but Art Ross Trophy.
Jamie Benn sucks. Like, if anything, that's a detriment to John Tavares and Sidney Crosby. Like,
no, it's them. It's them being injured that year.
Kane would have won it if he didn't get hurt that year for sure. But whatever.
Oh yeah, 2015.
That's also the funniest part. Like the last year before, like the big renaissance of talent was the year Kane won the Hart Trophy. Like the next year was like the Matthews McDavid era, and just like kind of never looked back after that. Weird to think.
Anyways, I wanna wrap that whole like Kane Taves segment up. Like the last time that this is the first time I think since before the
2004
20 years that the core members that were there, Keith, Seabrook, Taves, and Kane, none of them will be dressed for a game. Like,
wow, since when?
2004, so almost 20 years.
Yep.
The times, I mean,
They are
Times
changing.
they're changing. Reality's hitting in. Like that's really all I can do to wrap up because we could really ramble on for a couple hours, but we're not gonna. We're gonna move on and yeah. You know what, Jimmy? Let's talk about Ryan O'Reilly going to the Toronto Maple Leafs. An actual good trade. Like
I got to see Ryan O'Reilly rattle one off the crossbar in person. It was pretty fun.
and obviously, like
O'Reilly
we
hockey.
make fun of the Leafs on the podcast because it's like it's the low hanging fruit. Ha ha ha. LOL. The Leafs, 1967. Screamy, yelling Leafs fans.
But enough about Jimmy.
The first round, yeah. But I think they need.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, come on!
Hey,
Come on, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, it's
Come on,
how
come
happy
on.
we are
It's
now.
all
that
the
we're not talking
Fugazi.
about the Blackhawks, yeah. But no, I generally think the trade happened last week. I genuinely
Yeah, it was like about a week ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But Ryan O'Reilly, love the addition so far. I used in a way that I didn't think was smart at all. Schmitty, you mentioned it. Tavares on the same line with O'Reilly, Tavares playing wing. I thought that was ridiculous, and he has a hat trick against the Sabres.
Mitchell had 5 assists.
Yeah, and he's just been noticeable everywhere.
Speaking of an 8-year contract ending, like Ryan O'Reilly signed that contract with the Buffalo Sabres back in 2015. He got traded to the St. Louis Blues. He lost his love of hockey, and the next year he goes on to win a Stanley Cup, win a Conn Smythe, and now the Blues get bad. Well, not bad, but like mediocre to a point enough. Like, all right, we're gonna sell off, and now he's going to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, what a venture it's been for him. And
yeah. I'm very happy he's playing on one of the hockey teams that I follow. That's a fucking playoff player right there. Like that is exactly the kind of guy they needed on their team. And I don't think he'll be the 2C going forward. I think in the playoffs you put him in 3C.
Ideally, it's Matthews, Tavares, and O'Reilly. And the Leafs might even make it. Hey, hell, they might even get Matthew Nice from Minnesota.
Yeah. No, they probably. I mean,
that ass.
No, he would fit.
Well, like you could put Domi on the wing, and then you can run a three-headed monster.
No, Domi wing, third line, perfect. Like perfect.
Second line left wing, buddy, and then you put O'Reilly third line.
Buddy guy.
Dude, like defensive line with like O'Reilly, Kampf, and Yarncroke, like that's nasty. Like just defensively, that's nasty.
Yeah.
And then that line could score because Yarncroke and O'Reilly can score
at 4C. Because
Ochari's been pretty good at 4C. That's why I figured.
Yeah.
That's what they call him because he eats cookie before the pregame.
Dude, Achari is like the perfect Boomer Leafs player. Like he just hits a bunch of people, wins a bunch of faceoffs, gets in a fight every now and then, occasionally pots in a garbage goal.
Remember that time he was tripped in the Stanley Cup final, then St. Louis scored.
Unbelievable. I personally thought it was unbelievable. I don't know. I got to see Achari's first goals at least.
Yeah,
so
I got
Jimmy.
to see it in person. Yeah. So.
No, Achari is a Leaf. But I think it's funny that once the Leafs made that move, though, every other team is just like, Boston now is going to start pushing toward that defenseman. Tampa wants to make a move.
Dude, it's an arms race in the East right now.
It's like 5 teams too. It's not even that many, in my opinion. Sorry,
the West is just feeding them.
Dude,
the bad West teams.
The West is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Like you got Meyer coming out of the Sharks. You got Kane coming out of the Hawks. Is Klingberg going to be traded?
Probably.
Who wants me? 100. No, 100.
No.
Right but don't worry. The first piece that gets moved is Vito Niederreiter.
First second round pick.
At
first I was like, that's a bit much for an 18-goal scorer. Then you remember he's on the Nashville Predators. Allergic to scoring. And
who is their head coach?
O'Reilly got a first, second,
and third. Who is their head coach?
Nashville Predators. Oh, Nashville Predators.
Yeah, John Hines, my alter ego.
My alter ego.
Hey, you got no respect in the locker room.
Bro, I didn't know your alter ego was a bad hockey coach. No way. That's awesome.
Well, it's not really alter, but it's more ego. But what do you guys think about that? I thought that was I think Niederreiter fits the Jets style all right.
See,
Decent.
it's good until you realize Nick Ehlers is on the fourth line.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rick bonus
man.
moment. That's all I'm going to say about that. So if
I
Niederreiter's
forgot
playing
about
second
that.
line, that's fine. But like, I don't like Nick Ehlers' point a game when he's on the fourth line. Like, I don't like that.
Nick Ehlers to the Leafs, baby. Make it happen, Matty Nice.
Ehlers to the Bruins. I need it.
Shut up.
No, actually, Nick Ehlers to the fucking Devils would go crazy. Like, they
That
would
would be
never do
nice.
it, but
he needs to be on a team that like long term. Because like Lindy rough.
Dude, he
yeah,
has
but like
Steelers,
him and Hischier, come on.
Yeah.
That also
Nasty.
would just like save any coach or anybody
Sorry, he's
from any
playing with Holla.
mistake.
I forgot. My bad. He's going to go play with Holla and Andreas Janssen.
Oh my goodness.
Best third line in hockey. But enough about the 2019 Leafs. Anyways. Speaking of the 2019 Leafs, did Kasperi Kapanen just get picked up on waivers today? I think that's hilarious that the Blues picked him up and they were playing the Penguins today. They were just like, he doesn't even have to fly. Let's just pick him up so we don't have to pay for that extra flight. Like, when's the last time someone got claimed on waivers and they were playing that team that day? Like, I can't remember the last time that's happened. Like, and they were playing in the early game too. So like, Kapanen got that notification probably. They were just like, all right, well, we're just gonna plop your bags across the hall, and we'll see you on the other side of the ice, champ.
It's literally like the episode of SpongeBob where they send him over the chum bucket. You work for me now.
Yeah, you know what? The St. Louis Blues are the equivalent of the chum bucket at the moment, so that's good. Because didn't you see that quote from Robert Thomas where it's just like, "Oh, I've been in this locker room before. No one knows what it takes to win or whatever." Like, oh god,
a stove is a stove, no matter where you go. You know what? When you originally brought up Kapanen, the 2019 Leafs, I thought we were going to talk about Nikita Zaitsev, but
we could talk about Zaitsev because
that is a good.
Here's the thing. I just want to make one quick note about Kyle Davidson because I know I just kind of grilled him for like 15 minutes. Like 85% of the shit he's done, I am very content with.
Dude,
just like there's like 3 things that they've done that piss me off a wall. That's it. And he's done about 15 well. I think that's more hits than misses, if I recall correctly.
He's done everything well except treat what should be your 2 franchise players properly. Like, if ignoring all that stuff, that Nikita Zaitsev trade is incredible. That it's basically the Jason Dickinson trade 2.0, where
and they got a 4th player too.
You're taking on
and Nikita Zaitsev make sure that you stay bad.
Oh yeah,
you win in another way.
That Johnson Zaitsev pairing is going to go hard.
Tenorti Zaitsev, buddy. Come on.
No, Tenorti. I need Tenorti and Zaitsev.
No, it's going to be Zach Jones and Nikita Zaitsev.
Tenorti and Zaitsev will not move the puck anywhere past their own blue line. No farther than
Dude, Nikita Zaitsev's so getting 30 points with us next year. I hope you know that, right?
I think we're getting Ben Harper for the Rangers instead now.
Yes! The top 4 of Tenorti, Harper, Johnson, fucking Zaitsev, and then Seth Jones on the 3rd pair because he's too good for that top 4. Sorry.
Yeah, Rick bonus mindset. You got to rest him for later. Rest him for the good years.
And then we put Seth on the 3rd pair. There we go. That's the defense.
Also, the can manage my load.
No, I love the Zaitsev trade though. Like, again, Dickinson trade 2.0. Not only he's making $4.5 million at this point. He's a
$45 million cap.
And you're only paying him for 1 extra year. So you have a player this year and next year.
Worst case scenario gets buried. Like.
It's the perfect. It's the perfect rebuild trade.
Mm-hmm. And like they're like, oh, how come you couldn't get a 1st-round pick out of Ottawa? 1, you're not getting a 1st-round pick, and 2, that 2nd-round pick, that's going to be in the 40s. Ottawa ain't going anywhere. They're not making the playoffs.
Hey, and getting a pick in the 40s in this draft is very good. Like that's like Jaden Perron range. That would be very nice in round 2.
3 second-round picks if you really want to get into the 1st round again.
Get another one probably for the laugh man.
And
so
I'm just going to say one
and
thing
for Patrick Kane.
We've seen Dorian and Davidson have a couple of trades now, and I wonder if they might be a suitor for Athanasiou or Domi, possibly.
See, here's my thing: they need to go get a defenseman, like so bad.
Okay.
Well, that would require McCabe waving to any team in Canada besides the
I
Leafs, which he won't
completely
do,
forgot that
so.
he's one of the no
His 7
Canada,
team
please
no
people.
trade list, I promise you, is every team except Toronto and Arizona. Or actually, it might be Buffalo. We talked about this before. Buffalo might be one of them.
He was tired of Buffalo, which is basically Southern Canada. What makes you think you want to go to the actual Canada?
Dude, I just want to see Jake McCabe on the Kings. I just feel like that's such a good fit.
Dude, I want him to see him play friggin' playoff hockey. He's going to be 30 this year, and he hasn't played a friggin' playoff
And he's
game.
too good of a defenseman to not have played playoff hockey. It's like Murphy, dude. Murphy hasn't fucking played playoff hockey. He's going to go through another rebuild.
Doesn't count.
Bubble don't count.
Technically, he does have an elite spinorama assist in the bubble. He actually has played playoff hockey.
I remember that goal.
Dude,
Connor,
that goal was
Bobby,
sick.
or Murphy.
Fucking spin cycle,
Dude, spin
Murphy.
cycle, and then Strome with a little bit of patience to tap it to Cat. Oh, that goal was perfect.
Dude, that was a fucking fever.
Gee, hopefully those players are still here. Whatever. I hope DeBrincat gets paid though, because like it sounds like Ottawa doesn't want to pay him. So like,
No,
What? Ottawa not wanting to play? What?
guys, he's not better
What?
than Brady Tkachuk. Sorry, like he may have more points than him, but he's not better. Sorry. Like actually, he doesn't this year, but the guy who's been crazy for Ottawa this year is Stutzla. He has been. Like,
Dude,
I did not realize how good of a year Stutzla's having.
that contract already was stealing.
I'm being completely honest.
Hit
It was a rough time
Doesn't kick
as
his
a Hawks fan. I'm
It's a rough time being a Hawks fan. It's all right though, because you got the Leafs. So just don't focus on them.
Never
Like-
let you down ever.
Like I've been focusing on the Kraken more. You
Let's go.
focus on the Leafs, and
Hey,
Pierce has been focusing on prospects. I'd assume.
no,
Oh, the Blue Jays. Yeah, I forgot.
Blue
It's
Jays!
fucking
Did you
spring
see
training
it? We got 5
Pierce.
strikeouts in 3 innings. Let's go!
Yes!
B-ball!
now. White Sox lost to the Padres today. Get excited!
We beat
Pierce,
the
Pierce,
Pittsburgh
that hat.
Pirates, I think 9-7, and I think they gave up like a grand slam early on,
Ooh.
and then they like go, and then Guerrero got a 3-run shot, and then they won 9-7. That was
Nice.
pretty cool. Dude,
Pierce,
I
throw the
can't,
hat back on.
dude, I
Throw the
can't
hat
wait for
back on.
friggin' baseball to start. I'm honestly so excited.
The White Sox just make me so apathetic. Like,
That is so
Oh,
fucking
man,
hard.
yeah.
That is
because like
so
here's the
hard,
thing with the
Pierce.
Sox,
That's
Pierce. They're
sick.
not bad.
That's so
They're just
No,
not
they
good.
are, dude. They
I
are.
love
They
that.
are.
Like they are very middle of the pack in a bad division, which, in being honest, probably means they're gonna squeak into like a playoff spot.
Dude, the AL Central sucks. Like the
It's so
Guardians
bad,
are
bro.
a
It's
really
so
good
bad.
team. The Guardians are a solid team, I think, but other than that, no.
Like the Twins stink, the Tigers stink. Like we're mid. The
Dude.
Royals, I don't even know what the fuck
Kansas
they are.
City Royals are in that
Like,
position.
it's a bad division, bro. That's why, like, when the Sox were good a couple years ago, everyone was like, "Well, they suck. They've beaten up on plumbers." It's like, well, we know that. Just like let us have fun for a couple years.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays arguably are in like the most like
Oh, you're in the toughest division of baseball.
Yeah,
It's not even
but at
close.
the
Like,
same
I guess
time-
the AL West
yeah.
has gotten tougher, but like, dude,
But then
it's
at
like 4 playoff teams, right?
but at the same time, like I think the Blue Jays, like they're really the only team that I'm scared of is the Yankees. And even then, like the Yankees, they don't really scare. Like I feel
Well, yeah, just make sure the
Yeah.
Astros playing before you get there.
yeah, I was gonna say
I can't beat you, but he can.
Yeah.
it's a fucking Astros.
yeah. Do you remember I think it was the 2019 ALCS Jose Altuve hitting that home run. I think it was off Chapman, and then it was just like the video of Chapman just like standing there smiling. He's like, "Oh fuck me."
It's like the fun, and then you just see Altuve covering up his chest.
Oh,
because
yeah,
he
yeah.
Because he can't show my mic. Can't show my mic.
And
Like,
then serves them
cheers.
right. They lost to the Nationals in the World
fuck them,
Series,
honestly.
and then they
And then they
lost-
had their like mercy killing this year, so that was like
yeah they even made it to the World Series last year, but they lost to the Braves.
yeah. But this year was like fuck
Dude,
you
they're
guys,
like,
we're gonna
no,
win
we
this
can't
legit now."
lose again. No.
Dude, they got rid of Correa and won. Like that shit's crazy to me.
Mhm.
Like that's just crazy to me. Oh
Yeah,
man.
but like the AL East, like the Yankees are probably better than the Jays, but I don't think there's a distinct, like a huge difference between them. Like, I think the Yankees get the AL East, but like I think the Blue Jays are probably going to go in a wild card again, which oh boy, but no, I'm
man.
really
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
forward to
dude.
baseball. Yeah.
I've been
dude.
saying, dude. That's what I've been saying. Dude.
I was watching this.
I've been
this
saying
video.
that all the time.
It was like comparing the Braves to the White Sox, like how they locked up all their young players, and like that's what the Braves have done. I'm like, yeah, but the Braves,
Schmitty, I'm gonna.
The
Braves have
I'm
consistent
judging.
pitching.
yeah,
My opinion comes from this.
What?
Some of my opinions gonna come from this. What do I think about the Braves, White Sox?
What? Oh, the Braves
What do
are
I think
fine.
about
The
this?
Braves are great. It's just like
Dude,
the
the Braves
Braves,
might-
the White Sox wanted to do what the Braves did, except the White Sox can't stay healthy and don't have good pitching. So,
Yeah, don't
well,
stay
actually, that's
healthy.
a lie.
Even I know
Dylan
that
Cease
part,
was
yeah.
great last year.
Oh,
So,
dude,
like,
he was
and
a Cy Young.
Giolito, like they had.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. This is the problem with the Sox, dude. Like I just said it. They're not bad. They're just not good. That's the problem. Like unless like
Mediocrity.
maybe
We're
Lance Lynn
mediocrity.
stays healthy, maybe Giolito bounces back, then they have a rotation. But like
It's like
you
Weren't
can't
they
win
they're
with one
stuck. They're
pitcher.
stuck. They're
Like, they
stuck
were
in a
the
limbo,
definition of
really.
mediocre.
Also, like they have a great
Very
closer
limbo.
too, but like that's besides the point. Like their bullpen is still a problem. Like they don't have a reliever, and I've been begging for a reliever, and then they got Kimbrel, and Kimbrel sucked mega ball sacks, and it was just like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like the White Sox are such a frustrating watch. Like let me tell you, they're such
Looking
a
at
frustrating
the
watch.
Braves, it's like, oh, we got Max Fried, but oh, we also got Spencer Strider that just.
Oh no, we lost
yeah.
Freddie Freeman. Let's just
Yeah.
go get Matt
Oh
Olson.
no, we'll have
Like-
to get Matt Olson now. Oh,
Like, oh no,
shit.
the White Sox lost Jose Abreu. Let's go get Adam Benintendi. Like, I just kill me. Like, I'm done.
Oh no, Travis d'Arnaud is not a good enough catcher. We'll just have to get Sean Murphy from the Athletics and rob them again.
Dude, I can't stress this enough. The fact that I'm most excited about the Bears and they finished in dead fucking last this year.
Shane Pinto goal, baby. Woo!
Like, I
No,
hate,
dude,
I hate Chicago sports.
I'm
right
looking
now.
forward to the Blue Jays. Like, I really
But
like.
Pat Bev saved the bowl, so we're good.
I really like how they improved their bullpen. I think they improved their starting rotation.
Oh, the Jays are gonna be great this year.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just.
you just need the young guns to get a little more consistent. Like, if Bichette can get some consistency in his game,
Mhm.
like that's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Because like when he's on, he's fucking incredible. But
Dude,
like,
he was a hit machine towards the end, and there might be some regression for Manoah, but like Manoah was so good last year. Even if he does regresses, like he's still gonna be one of the better pitchers. Like they still have Gossman, who's really good. I like Chris Bassett, even though he might regress a little because he's a bit older. But like I think that's a solid like top 3 to work with. I'm just worried who they're gonna go with number 4, but I stopped myself there because they got UC Kikuchi, baby. Let's go!
nice.
Yeah. But no, I like, dude, when the Jays start, like when the regular season starts, I want to stream so many Jays games. Like I'm looking forward to it.
If Frank Nazar can be even half of what Braden's doing, I'm gonna be so happy. I'm sorry, I just saw Braden Point's goal a couple minutes ago, and that was just a thing of beauty. Like, and I see shades of Point. And
Dude, if
Nazar.
he's half as good as Braden Point,
That's a win. Like, and it gives me faith that I don't mean to like switch to Frank Nazar, but it gives me faith that Michigan's playing him at center because like I didn't think he could play center personally. I thought he was gonna be a winger, but like they're really every time I see a Michigan goal, he's on the ice. That's got to be a good sign. Like, all right. Anyways, enough about Michigan. Let's talk about baseball.
Beba.
Baseball.
You know, like we should make like a. Well, I don't know, Jimmy. I feel bad. Like,
No. I'm just
well, like,
enjoying
no, I
the
think
vibe.
Schmitty,
It's
you and
okay.
maybe we could get Jacob on because I know he's a baseball guy. We should do like a baseball season preview.
We do it like bi-weekly or something.
Yeah.
Just like get some updates on the league and shit.
Mhm.
We could do the Aaron Judge home run watch.
Yeah.
My favorite was that tweet where it was like, man, if I never watch baseball and I only watch baseball when college football switches to the Aaron Judge like at bat and he kept striking out, I think this guy sucked.
Did you see? Okay, you see they're doing like the new pitch counting. Like there's a clock, and did you see? I think it was the Red Sox and the Braves today. The bases were loaded. The bottom.
Yeah, and he like fucked it up and got called a strike.
Yeah, he
and
took
was
long.
out.
I think he took too long to get into the box. So and then they called it off, and it's like, oh, we had it with a tie with the bases loaded, and
It was
it was
perfect.
2 outs. Yeah, like oh my god. I'm interested to see how that works out because like the big thing with baseball is like there's some games that go on for too long, like, and I agree with that, but I also feel when you're at the bottom of like I think in the playoffs that shouldn't count. Like there should be no pay, like in the regular season, absolutely you're paying 162 games, but in the playoffs, like
Playoffs, there should not be a counter.
no, do not.
I think if they keep it on in the playoffs, that sucks. I also don't like the extra man in the 10th inning thing, but that's a whole other thing. I'll be right back.
Again, regular season, yeah, I get it, but like in the playoffs, yeah, no. Anyways.
Oh, Jimmy, buddy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Talk baseball
Jimmy.
at me, you know?
Jimmy, the Cubs have Cody Bellinger, and he looks like you, kind of.
He does, apparently. That's what someone told me, and then I looked at him and I was like, yeah, that's yeah.
I feel like the
Something like
Cubs
that.
actually, I don't think they're going to necessarily make the playoffs, but I feel like they could be a team that's over 500 because, like, I think the NL Central, like they have it's the Cardinals, the Brewers, and then I think it's the Pirates and I'm forgetting who the other team
Reds.
the Cincinnati Reds.
The capital of something.
Cincinnati. Man.
Wait, Smitty, did you see Corbin Burns on the Brewers where he's like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of how the arbitration went down. I'm like, oh, you're gonna lose a Cy Young winner and probably one of the best pitchers in baseball. Like that's literally all they have is Burns and Woodruff, and like, I guess you could say they burnt that bridge with them, anyways. But yeah,
Real.
The Cubs, like, what do you think about the NL Central? Because the Cubs are in that division, and like I look at the Cardinals, like maybe the Cardinals are probably the best team, but like other than that, I don't think the Brewers are that great. The Reds suck, and like
the Cubs could surprise some people. Like they played way better than I thought they were gonna play last year because like they were tanking last year. They wouldn't say it, but they were. Depending on how their pitching does this year, because I know they got a lot of young guys in the AAA and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think the Cubs could make some noise, but like, yeah, it's Brewers or Cardinals. Like, it's
I like
division.
I like some of the moves we made. Like Dansby Swanson, I think is good at shortstop for them, and Bellinger. Maybe there's like a good chance.
Bellinger, they have the money to take a flyer on a guy like Bellinger.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like that's the luxury you have with being a Chicago sports team is like you usually, like unless you're the White Sox, you usually have the money to like make a swing. And the Bulls because same fucking owner. But you know what I mean? Like most of these franchises, like the Bears have the money to make a swing. The Blackhawks have the money to make a swing. The Cubs have the money to make a swing. Like, and I appreciate that because like not a lot of markets are too open to like just whipping open the pocketbook and paying someone 20 mil. But like the Cubs just did that for 1 year on a flyer to just maybe see if they can make the outfield a little bit better. Like I appreciate when teams do that. You know what I mean? Like not to bring it back to the Blackhawks, but I'd like to see them do some shit like that when they have 45 million in cap space. You know what I mean? Not saying give like Tyler Bozak 20 mil. But like,
give David Pastrnak whatever he wants. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Jimmy, if Tyler Bozak wins the Stanley Cup with the Leafs, if you retweet this, I'll give you $1. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Couldn't be me.
You still have that tweet, or did you delete it?
Oh, I don't think I deleted it. It's just on my old account. I don't really I don't hold on to that like a trophy by any means. But nowadays I probably would actually.
Oh my
God.
God.
Take that.
We'll talk about I don't want to talk about baseball still. Baseball makes me happy, but I do want to talk about Dmitry Orlov and Garnet Hathaway going to the Bruins.
Fuck them. They took away the Sam Lafferty, Jake McCabe trade.
Yeah.
That should have been our picks.
It
should have been our picks.
That should have been from him. Yeah.
Dude, the worst is like before that trade got broken, I was like looking because like I know Don't Be Sad doesn't like break trades, but like he kind of has been ahead of the game on most of the shit the Hawks have done. So like once I see the Lafferty to Boston thing, I'm like
the Jones trade, dude.
Oh yeah, he called the Jones trade. He said Boquist was getting traded before anyone. Like I don't know who the fuck his friend is with the Hawks, but he gets all that shit right most of the time. But like I was like looking at the like what Boston could potentially give for a McCabe Lafferty deal, and I was like, all right, well, it'd probably have to be like 2023 first, 2024 third, and 2025 second. And it was like almost verbatim what they traded Garnet Hathaway or Dmitry Orlov for, which I don't blame them. That's a way better rental deal. Like Garnet Hathaway in the bottom six, great pickup.
Dude, he is made to be a Boston Bruin player. I'm pretty sure he also got like a suspension for spitting on or licking someone, so he fits him perfectly there with Brad Marchand.
Dude, and those are two guys that are like tenacious as fuck too. Like I don't want to play against those guys. Like just Sam
Lafferty's still going to be a Bruin. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, like Jimmy, you heard the line that they're running in Boston, right? It's Hathaway, Foligno, and Thomas Nosek. Like, that's an annoying ass line to go up. And then you can flip Trent Frederick in there.
Then you have Frederick. Yeah, then you have.
I'd put Frederick in there. That'd be nasty.
Oh no,
that's your fourth line.
Like I put Frederick in there instead of Nosek. I put Frederick in there instead of Nosek. Frederick is just.
I think they have Frederick on the third line right now. That's why. So.
Oh, but man,
I think they have him with what's his face?
That's a
Not
great
Zacha.
fourth line. That's a great fourth line.
Yeah,
That's a very
I forget
good
who their
fourth
third
line.
center is. I'm gonna go look at Boston's lines real quick. Actually,
Dude,
Man, I hate when Don Sweeney does his job well because he's kind of he is a dipshit. I forgot he proved that.
Signed Mitchell Miller. Anyway,
no, the one thing I will always
forgot.
give Don Sweeney credit for is he always goes for it. That's the one thing I will give him credit for.
which
Yeah,
is
even
what
when
you
the
should
pieces
be doing.
yeah.
When
Which
you
is
have
exactly
players
if you
like
have Patrice
Bergeron,
Bergeron, if you have Brad Marchand, if you have
and
Charlie
Charlie
McAvoy, if you
McAvoy,
have
David Pastrnak.
David Pastrnak in a career year in his
Dude,
contract,
David
you
Krejci is
go
like
for it.
almost point per game after missing.
He was
a
point
year.
per game when he left the league. Like people forget that he didn't leave because he was bad. He left to go check on his family, basically, and then his family gave him the green light, and he came back. And now
I guess I'll come back to Boston.
I guess I'll just play with Pastrnak and Zacha and be like the best line in hockey.
Oh my god, the check line, the checking line, dude.
And like another guy who doesn't get credit, like DeBrusque is having a career year. Like
He's playing on the
finally
top
he's
line.
having that year.
Spreads things out, yeah.
Like, dude, we all knew DeBrusque had it in him. Like, he's always had that skill. But, like, dude, he's going to get, like, 60 points.
David Krejci, 52 games played, 46 points, 13 goals, 33 assists. Stupid. He's one of the best. He's one of the most underrated centers of maybe, like, last 15 years or so.
I don't mean
he's a playoff performer, too. I'm pretty sure both the years.
We talked about this a couple years ago.
I think
he led. Cast.
Yeah.
He is a consistent playoff performer. He has been. He was one of the probably the least talked about playoff performers of the 2010s. Like statistically, I think he's up there.
He's good, dude. Like he is.
Hold up, let me pull it up.
Like if we're doing like an all 2010s underrated line, him and Patrick Sharp are the first two guys in that line.
Drew. Like,
no bias whatsoever with Patrick Sharp. But like Patrick Sharp's resume speaks for itself, in my opinion.
Are we having Nick Hjalmarsson on the defensive?
Oh, Nick Hjalmarsson's starting lefty, obviously.
Yeah.
Like who's starting righty though? That's the question. We're going underrated from the 2010s. Like,
want to hear some goofy numbers?
Here we go. I love goofy, Jimmy.
Not goofy. Okay, not goofy, but impressive. Very impressive. David Krejci, playoff statistics: 156 games played, 42 goals, 82 assists for 124 points. That is since 2007.
He was the OG number one center on that team. Like it wasn't Bergeron until like 2010. No. It was Krejci's team for a while. Like he is great. Like we always talk about, he is like probably the most underrated piece of that 2011 team. Like he does not get enough credit for that.
He led the team in points that year. I'm pretty sure he led the whole playoffs in points.
They'll talk about Lucic all day, but they will not talk about Krejci for some reason. Beyond me, Krejci, one of the most underrated players in that 2013.
Dude, that line, I'm pretty sure the line was Lucic, Krejci, and Horn. Like Krejci.
Yes, it was.
Pain in the ass, bro. Like that line was so much like credit to them for having such a great line, but like, oh my god, that line gave me fits watching them win the Hawks. Like,
I was gonna say, like,
Milan Lucic just making his fucking home in front of the net.
That was the most surprised they beat the Bruins. Like, I really thought the Bruins were gonna beat them. Like, I'm like, oh, the Blackhawks are a good team, but like, looking at the Bruins that year, they obviously they beat the Leafs. Ha 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 ha. LOL. 1967, 2004.
Dude, they dominated Pittsburgh in the.
Dude, they ran the Rangers show, and they.
I don't think I've ever been more surprised by a fucking series than I was as a young hockey fan, at least. You're watching Pittsburgh. They steamrolled. They stepped over the Islanders. They have a.
That was when it was
couple
just
games.
That was when
pretty sure the Senators they ran through them though. In 2013.
Yeah, sorry. They had their moments against the Islanders.
Fleury friggin' sucked, dude. And then they put
Bocoon, baby.
Thomas Bocoon, baby. But that second round, they have a couple of games they have like one or two games in Ottawa where they lose. They steamroll them at home. I mean, they manhandle them at home every single time they play them. And then they head into Boston, get fucking shut down completely, swept 4-0.
Dude, I think
go to
Crosby, Malkin, 0 points, and like Letang, 0 points. Iginla, 0 points. And by the way,
it has to be one of the.
Wait. So you're telling me that Pittsburgh's top guys didn't show up in a playoff series and didn't get heckled to death when they did it? Wow, that's crazy. I've never.
That's gotta be like one of the best performances.
I thought when you give up 3 goals in 4 games, you just get
like in this entire sense.
It's crazy that Pittsburgh won back-to-back cups.
I can't believe they didn't trade Evgeny Malkin.
I can't believe they didn't trade Malkin and blow it up. Exactly. You're so right, Pierce. You're so right. I can't believe they actually traded for Kessel and got better. That's crazy, dude. You know, most of the time when that happens, I think just blow it up. Sorry, I'm a very, very, very petty man right now, ladies and gentlemen. Like I am very that's the bitterness in me talking. Like
He'll just say
I
anything,
am
boys. He'll just say anything,
for a
boys.
guy who has seen 3 cups in his lifetime. I am a very bitter man right now.
What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately?
See, but it's not even what have you done for me lately. What have you done for me in the last 8 years? Like
Nada.
besides Cade winning a heart.
Nada.
Whatever. Anyways,
so-
I don't need to keep bringing it back to the shit show. My apologies. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy that Boston has like a few guys left over from that 2013 when they beat the Hawks. Freaking beat them, and now look at where look at where they are in the standings this year.
Insane.
Yep,
it's insane. Okay, well, let's next.
Oh, and by the way,
topic. Hit me up with something.
Orloff and McAvoy, you're not getting a shot on the ice with that defensive pairing if that's what they do.
I also, if we're gonna talk about Boston, this does relate to the Hawks a little bit. If Patrick Kane has taken notes from anyone in the last couple of years, go look at what Taylor Hall did, because like Taylor Hall took a sweetheart deal with the Bruins, and that seems to be working out pretty good right now.
Dude, signed $6 million 3 years, stay in New York.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Hall. I was like, yeah, 6
yeah.
times 3 for Kane, stay in New York. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Dude,
like if you want to actually enjoy the rest of your career, do that. Like
who wouldn't want to play hockey in New York? Like it's
with that top 9. Like
well, the hockey team is good, and if you're really one of those hockey players, I don't want any attention, don't want to be caught. You are what, maybe 10th, and like sports teams there because it's the Yankees, it's the Mets, it's
no, but
it's the Mets.
But the thing is, you're still going to get treated like royalty in New York. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's
if you win,
that's the thing. If you fucking win, you're literally never gonna have to pay for anything in that city ever again. Like I don't think people realize, like, if for the listeners, if y'all haven't looked into it, go listen to some of those guys from that 94 team. Like, I think one of the best Dangle podcast interviews from way back in the day was when they got Kyprios on the show, and Kyprios just went on like an hour tirade about all the shit they used to do with Mets, because Mets was literally a fucking god in that city after he won a cup.
Only like, player in NHL history to captain 2 different teams to a Stanley Cup, by the way.
That's nuts, by the way. Like, the fact that it hasn't been done before, like, since or before, is nuts to me.
No, not even Gretzky did it.
Well, Gretzky made only 1 cup final after he left. That's the craziest part about all that.
Yeah,
like, didn't the Oilers win a cup the year after they traded him? Like,
yeah, the Oilers won, I think, 84, 85, then 87, 88, then 1990. I think that's how it went.
You're right.
And
that's
then,
how it went. You're off.
Gretzky got traded to LA in 88, and like he revolutionized hockey there. Like Wayne Gretzky was.
Hockey doesn't exist on the West Coast if Gretzky doesn't get traded there. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Austin Matthews doesn't exist without.
Oh, no. There's no Austin Matthews without Wayne Gretzky going to the West Coast.
No Tage Thompson.
Yeah, no Tage Thompson.
Like, that's serious. No Tage. Like, I think we brought it up a couple times on the show, but like, I'm still super excited to see, like, in like 5-6 years, the generation of hockey players that's going to come from LA. Because like the Kings Cup teams, those prospects are going to start becoming like NHL eligible soon. You got to think, like, the guys who watched the teams and they were like 8 to 10, like.
Well, that was the thing with, I think, Pittsburgh back in the early 90s when they won. Like, we saw John Gibson from Pennsylvania. Brandon Saad is from Pennsylvania. Like, we saw a few guys come from.
Dude, look at how many guys have gotten drafted from the Chicago area in the last 5 years. Like.
Okay, and bring one more thing to Kane. Like, whatever you think of, the influence he's had on not only young Americans.
Insurmountable.
He's one of the most, I think, influential hockey players, like, all time, like, ever.
Dude, because it's not just that he helped the city. He helped every player that has ever had that play style. Because I'm sorry, before Patrick Kane, if you were 5'10" and super fucking skilled, you didn't make the league most of the time. That's just the way it fucking was.
Let alone get drafted first overall.
Guys like Matt Barzal are not in the fucking league today if it's not for Patrick Kane. Guys like Braden Point aren't in the fucking league if it's not for Patrick Kane.
Not as many as there are.
All you want.
Not as many as there are. There are plenty.
Hate him all you want. The man was a pioneer. And that's all. That's at the end of the day, when you look at the NHL in like a linear stance, it's going to be very clear that era with Patrick, starting with Kane, and I mean Crosby wasn't the biggest dude either, but like he was fucking tank in his lower body.
Dude, he's like 5'11".
Kane was like 160 soaking wet.
Yeah,
like
he's a thick boy.
Guys aren't that just wasn't a thing in 5 years, even 5 years before that. Like the fact that there was a time when he got drafted and people were like, well, you should take JVR number 1 because he's bigger. Like, imagine saying that nowadays. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No one does. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because Yari Slavkovsky just went first overall in the fucking draft.
We
So
watched
apparently,
that
some
one.
things never change.
Yeah.
But
And James Vanderbeek's is better than Patrick Kane, as we all know.
yeah, of course, yeah, totally.
Much better at hockey.
Totally, he's got all those cups to show with the Leafs, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
couldn't be as his brother TVR who
Could it
actually
be his
won.
brother who's got more cups than him? I forgot.
Oh
about
my
that.
God! Yeah.
Don't worry, he's going to the Leafs though. Didn't you hear, Jimmy?
No, Eric Gustafson.
Eric
is
Gustafson
going
is
to the
TVR.
Leafs.
Oh my God, TVR. The TVR for Rasmus Sandin swap is going to move mountains. Oh my God.
Can't wait for Sandy in a second for Gustafson and TVR.
Nah. It's
I'm gonna-
if we're being
I'm gonna
honest,
lose
it's
my
probably
mind.
gonna be like Ty Voigt for fucking Eric
Ty
Gustafson.
White.
Best prospect in the Leaf system, Ty Voigt, if you talk to some people.
I wonder who those people would be.
Exactly. I don't know who those people would be.
I'm just gonna do a quick Twitter search and make some random guesses.
Jesus.
We've been talking about like the Bruins, how they've been good for a while. Like I want to talk about the Capitals because when's the last time they've been selling at the trade deadline? Again, they're like the Capitals, like the Penguins. I think except for all of 1 year, like the past 15 years, they've made the playoffs every single year. They got a Stanley Cup out of it, but like
they've had too many injuries this year, man.
Yeah.
Like think about it. Connor Brown's still hurt. Anthony Mantha just got
I
hurt.
forgot he was even on the team.
Literally, dude. Like Backstrom and Wilson were out the whole first half of the year. That can't be understood.
Just get back too.
Yeah, he's been back. They've been back for about a month now. Like that's a big loss for a team to like overcome, and that's with Gustafson having a resurgent year. That's with guys like Dylan Strome fitting like a glove in that team.
Dude,
you can only do so much.
Goals
the just gonna add up
on the Capitals. Alex Ovechkin, 32. Can you guess the next player on the list?
Is it Dylan Strome?
No. Okay.
Oh,
well,
no,
it shouldn't be surprising.
Oh wait, no, it's TJ Oshie. It's like 14.
Yeah, but it's not surprising who has scored the goals, but how many goals?
Yeah, Oshie's got like 14, right?
Yeah, 14. That's a 20 goal difference almost.
Yeah, that's not good.
If you're the Capitals,
3 guys with 14 goals. Like, come on, let's get better.
You just say fuck it, shut it down this year, and then run it back next year. Like, what do you do?
I mean, they already have kind of.
Like, well, yeah. Like, do you
what
just
is this Hawks game at? Holy hell!
10 o'clock.
What?
No,
well,
Jimmy
9 here. 9 here. 10 for you, which is crazy. Fuck, dude.
Patrick Kane is sitting out, and then Timo Meyer's also sitting out. Like, there's gonna be nothing.
Yeah, they're all sitting in the press box to watch the Patrick Marleau retirement ceremony. Come on now.
This is gonna be like close to an AHL game as we get in the AHL.
You know what? I really hate bringing it back to 88, but like it's really ironic that they're doing a retirement number night for a guy who literally played over. How many games did Marleau play with the Sharks?
I'm pretty sure Marleau has the record for most NHL games played.
But like he left and went to the Leafs, and that he left at around the same time in his career, a little later.
He played for the Penguins. You remember that? He got traded to the Penguins.
He was a Hurricane. He was a Hurricane. Oh, you know what's going to be the best part about when Kane gets traded? On his resume, he's going to be on a third team. Because some third team is going to have to take him to retain half.
Montreal
so if he's a Canuck for 5 seconds, like that's going to be so fucking funny. Like,
oh, please, Kane be a Canuck.
I need Kane to get retained by some crazy.
Kane being a Canuck would be funny.
Coyote legend Patrick Kane. I need it.
Dude, I mean, hey, he'll join the ranks of Shea Weber, Chris
Pavel Datsyuk.
Pavel Datsyuk. Dude, that's literally a whole
all-star line.
All-star line. You can go Andrew Ladd, who actually played for them. Pavel Datsyuk, Marian Hossa, and then you gotta go Pronger on defense. Yeah, have fun with Pronger and Weber, by the way. And
Arizona is dude. Pronger Weber as a pairing would have been so stupid. Oh my god.
Yeah, have fun with that. I'm pretty sure that was a pairing on Team Canada once. I think in like 20.
Gee, I bet Canada won. It's crazy how that works. Why was Canada so dominant? Looks at their top 4. Oh, it's like. Because, like, even in 2014, what was it? Like, Keith, Doughty, Pietrangelo, like, Weber.
Yeah.
Burns.
Like, Vlasic. No, Burns.
Oh, yeah, because Vlasic was just, like, the most underrated defensive defenseman for, like, a decade. And then
PK Subban was the 7th defenseman. In the previous year, he won the North. Carey Price was the goalie. Roberto Luongo was the backup, and I think Marty St. Louis barely made it because Stamkos got injured.
Yep.
And Tavares got
And then
injured.
Tavares tore his ACL.
Yeah,
and now we don't send stars to the Olympics. Fuck you, Johnny T. Also, go Ducks.
It's all your fault.
Hey, don't talk about
Pajama boy.
him like that. Don't talk about the robot man like that.
Pajama boy.
Pajama boy.
Oh my God, go Ducks. Let's go.
Are they winning?
Against Carolina 2-1.
Let's go.
Dude, if we could get a Blackhawks loss today with the Anaheim win and a Columbus regulation win.
They beat the
Erik Karlsson's gonna be doing laps tonight.
Erik Karlsson should be an Oiler, but Kevin Holland doesn't have the balls.
Hey guys,
Nope,
they might not make a move this year for the trade. It just might not be this year.
Because guys, we all the guys we wanted are either we're not in the running for them or they already got traded, so we can't do anything.
But hey. We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
We're all out of ideas. We couldn't think of anything. Like, it's crazy. I hate the Oilers, dude. Like, I cannot wait for that day McDavid says, fuck you, I'm not re-signing. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful day.
And
it's goes to the New York Rangers.
Oh, Draisaitl's a year early. Shit, I forgot about that. He's going to be first.
And as a person who lives in the city of Edmonton, God, I would love an Oilers Stanley Cup. I want to see the management go on for it, but also I want to see, for a fan of hockky, I want to see Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl actually win a cup. They're going to win a cup.
I don't know where.
Nazar and Fantilli.
There you go. Nice.
Nazar and Fantilli.
Literally, there is a 32-point difference between Connor McDavid and the next player not named Leon Draisaitl in the NHL right now. We're already at like historic paces, like we haven't seen scoring like this in the 90s, and you have a 20.
They're the Gretzky and Curry of our generation. Let's be honest,
dude. 25-point difference between
Steph Curry of our And
I've seen Oilers fans say, "Oh, Leon Draisaitl's not having a great year." I believe it.
He's not having that great of a year, but he's second in scoring. Like, shut up. These are like the people that are. You know what's great? Leon Draisaitl is going to fall into the same category Patrick Kane's fallen into. Because he plays a lazy style of hockey. In other words, he's just conserving energy and he doesn't have to fucking skate like the wind to make plays.
He literally owned the Flames on one leg last year.
He owned two different franchises on one leg. He owned the fucking Kings too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not pretend like that wasn't like the Leon Draisaitl slander is so fucking.
Dude, he has more playoff points than McDavid.
He's better than every player on every team that's not named McDavid. And anyone who wants to argue that, go talk to the stats.
Malkin's a much better example because he's just dominant all around in the offensive zone. I don't know. Yard Curry was much more of a shooter.
Like Malkin too.
I was gonna say the height, the use of the body, the vision.
Like he's just
an offensive dynamo. He's just besides McDavid, he's like the perfect scoring hockey player. He's kind of
Yeah, he's got 88 points. The next closest is Kucherov with 81. Like, give me a break. I don't want to hear it. Also, McDavid has 25 more points than Draisaitl. Like, what are we? He has 113 points. It's 60 games. Oh my God.
He is on pace for 66 goals, which would be the most, I think, of the century.
And 65 was Ovechkin.
Yeah, 65 would have been 07-08.
But guys, does he hit?
I don't know.
Does he play defense?
Guys, I think I'd take Nikita Kucherov in his 200-foot game over.
Dude, his last 3 games, he has 11 fucking points. What the
Leon
fuck?
Draisaitl literally can just do anything in the offensive zone aside from what McDavid can do. Like, no one can do what he fucking does. Kane is like one of the only guys with better hands. You got him and Crosby and McDavid. There are not many players that have the vision and the ability to pass the puck the way he does. Like that, every time I watch that guy play, it blows my fucking mind. The way he uses a very short stick too, and he just whips the puck right across the offensive zone, right across the hash to whoever he needs to be. It can be, spin around. It can be go behind the net and throw it in front. It's getting there wherever the fuck it gets there. Dude, he's special. How is this a conversation that anyone's saying he's having a bad fucking year? Are you kidding me?
I think Oilers fans like, oh, he's not as good as he is in dude.
Oh my God, spoiled, fucking rotten in that aspect. Oilers fans are not spoiled rotten in any other way.
No, they'd rather talk about nudes. Like,
I guess I understand when those are the two only players you have. You're just like hyper focused on everything, every little mistake they make. I guess I don't know.
No, they're
I
more
mean,
focused
what
on
else are you
winning.
gonna do? Complain about the same other shit that you've had to complain about for the last 6 years as an Oilers
Oh,
fan?
nothing wrong with that.
Dude, Zach
Nothing wrong
Hyman
with
has
that.
69 points
Oh
in
no,
59 games. Like, what
I
the
just mean
fuck?
depth scoring, but no, yeah,
Exactly.
the
That proves my
suffering.
point. Not only are McDavid and Draisaitl scoring at absurd paces, like Hyman and Nuge are over point per game.
Nuge just got
Dude,
72 points.
Hyman's actually playing up to his contract. Like, it's great, man.
Zachary on the attackery, and then Matthias Janmark has 17
Fucking
points.
so happy for him, dude.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Like that.
Oh, we got Frank.
team is
We got
literally
Frank the Tank on the ice here,
2018-19
boys.
Blackhawks.
Frank the Tank's
So
on the
annoying.
ice. Frank the Tank has the puck.
Are you really
By the way, shout out to
Yes,
Michigan Hockey. They probably have the best play-by-play tweeting I've ever seen from a team in my life.
Wait, who?
Like, turn on, like, if you get a chance, Pierce, go look at Michigan Hockey's Twitter page. The way they live tweet games is the best I've ever seen. Like, they tell you like chances, penalties, like stoppages, like they tell you everything.
Well, they got the AI running.
They tell you like which players are creating the
That's what
chances.
they are.
Like I was
Oh,
just told that
nerd.
Nazar and Brintley created 2 shorthanded chances. Like no
Cool.
other page.
Hell
shit.
yeah, yeah, cool.
Mhm.
Man, we need more of that. Just regular hockey. That'd be fantastic.
Cannot wait till we sign Eric Portillo and we have Drew Comesso. It's gonna be so chills.
I would love to get
Hey,
Portillo. Dude.
Portillo and Camesso, eh?
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Hey, what's the matter with you?
I need Eric Portillo's on my team. Let's go.
I think that was Frank Nazar struggling to handle the pass there. Unfortunate.
Jimmy scouting.
Skill issue.
Hold up, let him cook. No, I think it's a character issue. We should slander an 18 or 19-year-old.
Guys, that one time that American player Casey Middlestat, who's like the same height, didn't work out well. So
pull up, and people
you
were
never
like,
know,
"Oh, that's not
man.
a
Frank
big deal."
Nazar, maybe not a good player.
Yeah, Sam Bennett couldn't do a pull up either. That was
I mean, Sam Bennett also kind of sucks, but like that's besides the point.
Oh.
No, I can't wait to hear
the
Blue
insanity
Panthers
run
tell me how
ended
he's
for
not.
Sam Bennett a little while ago.
Sam Bennett wishes he was Anthony Duclair. Anyways.
Oh, so many people wish they were Anthony Duclair. Beautiful on and off the ice. What a fucking human being.
Duke.
Oh god, I fucking love the Duke, man. That guy's been so much fun.
Everyone hears the Blackhawk and Quenneville blasted him to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, that doesn't seem sketchy at all after everything we know about the franchise right now.
Team. Anyways,
let's stop talking. Let's stop talking about it. Yeah. Well, we talked about all the Blackhawk stuff. Jimmy, do you think the Leafs make any more moves or should make any more moves?
Let me just double check where their cap is at because I have not.
-$7.
Cap friendly, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, I just haven't gotten to that in the last few days. I've been looking more at the Blackhawk stuff. No, I will not lie. The Hawks have just been very depressing. Holy shit, they have been draining lately.
Cheer for the Leafs.
I really should, but I also am very afraid. Like I'm very hyper aware of the first round gonna be just as disappointing as every other year.
I really feel with the Leafs, it's first round cup or nothing. Like if they get past the first round.
No, dude, that team is so fucking talented, and it's wasted every fucking year. You have Austin Matthews, William Nylander, John Tavares, Ryan O'Reilly. I didn't say Mitch Marner yet, did I?
Nope.
Magic Mitchie Marner.
Morgan Riley's having a shit year, but you never know. Guys turn it on in the playoffs. He's a very fucking good offensive defenseman. He's been pretty good
offensively lately.
TJ Brody is one of the better two-way defensemen in the league overall. I don't care what kind of year he's having. In general, that's what he is. I'll wait till the playoffs. If he's like this in the playoffs, I'll talk about, I'll eat shit then. But he's been their best all-around defenseman for the ever since he got here. Justin Holl. Rasmus Sandin looks fucking like he and Liljegren are filling into their roles, but Sandin, they don't seem to see that in the coaching staff. Liljegren, though, looks fucking fantastic. Ryan O'Reilly is going to be the guy who shuts shit down. They've needed a guy like that for God knows how fucking long. How long has it been that we've said the Leafs need a guy who can just shut shit down in the playoffs.
Well, Jimmy, they brought in Brian Boyle and Thomas Buchanan, aren't they?
Oh yeah, no. That's what, thank you, Lou. Thank you, Lou. Thank you for the table scraps. It was Lou, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say that had to be. There's no way that wasn't.
Kylie Dubman's
Kyle
first
Dubas.
deadline move was Jake Muzzin.
Kyle Dubas doesn't do enough at times, but he's not that fucking.
Kyle
stupid.
Pudas' first move was Jake Muzzin.
I love that.
It
I
was
love
Johnny
that move,
T,
and
baby.
that's a fantastic fucking trade.
Oh yeah, it was Johnny T. You're
Well,
right. I'm
fantastic
talking
fucking
deadline,
trade.
but yeah.
And my favorite.
Favorite what? You froze.
That is my favorite too.
Me when I just freeze void. Yeah. No, you got a good point there, Jimmy. Yeah, he's completely.
He had a vision about the first round. And
Yeah, he's just like, anyways, and it's like in his mind, just like, oh no, Rasmus Sandin is spinning around at the blue line.
He's just like looking off into the distance longingly too. It's just like, oh no, that's not good. He was cooking too. I wanted to hear the rest of it.
I wanted to, Jimmy.
Jimmy was cooking. Damn it! He's gonna come back too, and he's gonna be like, "What?" He's gonna be at the end of his spiel and not realize that he was lagging. And it's gonna be like,
I had to take a picture of that. We're gonna leave this in.
oh yeah, you have to.
Anyways, that baseball, huh? No.
Dude, baseball. I hate baseball. I'm just kidding. I just hate.
I hate all. Yeah, he's gone now. I hate all sports.
No, I just want the combine to start already. I'm ready for fucking football free agency.
When is that? When does all that start?
2 weeks.
Oh.
Combine is like next weekend, I want to say.
Mm.
And then the draft, or like that's not the draft. Free agency is usually like second week of March.
Yeah.
So, and the Bears have a shit ton of cap space, so I need to see how they're gonna at least try to weaponize this. Because if they don't, then dude, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be happy. Like you are.
Who do you want them to draft? Because they have first overall, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the same two defensive guys every time, but like the thing is, I need to know where they're trading down to because they're gonna trade down. Like if they keep number one, I will be more shocked. If like it's gotten to that point, I think.
Well, there isn't like a clear cut guy, so you might as well trade down and get extra.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like they don't need to draft a quarterback. So if a team needs a quarterback, trade with them so they can get ahead of the Texans and Colts, who both need quarterbacks, and try to get it first next year, get maybe another second this year. Like that's bare minimum. I'm talking like go look at NFL trades and they trade the number one pick. Like bare minimum, it's usually 3 first round picks. Like that should be your ticket, especially since the two teams that are fighting to trade up are in the same division. So,
oh man, have them tripping over each other.
I'm serious. Like the Texans pick 2 and the Colts pick 4. If the Colts go above the Texans, they're going to get the Texans guy at quarterback. And I've heard, it's the offseason. You're going to hear a bunch of shit, but like I've heard reports from Texans guys that say they're not going to lose out on Bryce Young. So if you really want Bryce Young and the Colts want Bryce Young, you're going to have to outbid them to get to number 1. Or else we're going to go trade with the Colts and they're going to go get him. And you're like, it's coming to the point where they're talking about like, you don't want to be the guy who's picking the third pick of the litter at quarterback. And I understand that. My team's not picking quarterback, I hope. And if they are, I'm going to be even more pissed. Like I'll be more pissed than any. I'm going to be done being a Bears fan if they get rid of Justin Fields, basically. That's where I'm at with that at that point. Because I get it's getting entertained to try to bring the facade of they might pick a quarterback so the trade value could go up. But like, dude, if they do that,
quarterback, I'll trade you everything for that. Take it.
Yeah. Literally, it's the mystery box shit. Like, I can't stand it. So, like, if we're talking dream scenario, it's like you trade with the Colts, you move down to 4, or you trade with the Texans and move down to 2, and pick up more draft picks. Go take Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. Hot take. I will say hot. Sorry, Jimmy. I don't mean to.
Oh no, go ahead. No, go.
See, we caught you while you were cooking. Now you're catching me while I'm cooking about the Bears because we had to talk about something in a side note. But Pierce, because I did this giant tirade to answer your question of who I want them to pick. If they can hold that top 5 pick, like whether it's 1, 2, or 4, that's where I want them to stay. If they drop below 5, then they're going to have to go offensive tackle or wide receiver. That's what I would say. But if they're in the top 5, it's either Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, who Jimmy knows I have been preaching about since probably week 4 of the season. which I think is hilarious because, like, after the Giants loss, I looked at you straight up and I was like, just start watching Will Anderson tape because that's where we're going to be this year. And
Yeah,
that's where we
right,
are.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
my dark horse pick, because like I love Jalen Carter and Will Anderson. Each of them have so many like qualities. Like Will Anderson led the NCAA in pressures the last few years. That's extremely hard to do. He had 18 sacks in 11 games the year before. Jalen Carter is the definition of a game breaker. But if there was a wild card pick, there's this kid out of Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson. And just from a attribute standpoint, looks like he's made in a fucking lab. He's like 6'6", has the reach of a god. Like he's got like basically a basketball center's reach as an arm span. And then he's got 4.5, 4.4 speed. He's got tremendous bend. He's got better bend than Will Anderson, which like I know you don't like keep like you don't know what like bend means for edge rushers, Pierce, but like basically it's like the way you can get off on the line of scrimmage. Like if you can get good positioning on a right tackle and your bend's proper, you're gonna win any battle every time. But if you have bad bend, you're going to get – that means you're pretty stiff at the line of scrimmage, and you're going to get manhandled by an offensive lineman. So that just –
everyone loves a good bend, you know?
Like if they're picking 4, I could totally see them
My
picking
favorite
Tyree
Radiohead
Wilson.
album.
But you can't take Tyree Wilson number 1. I will
would.
say that straight up. If you have number 1 or 2 and you keep it, it's Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. But if someone takes the guy you want at 4 or before you get to 4, then you take Tyree Wilson. That's my hot take. Did not mean to go on a giant tirade on what the Bears should do with their top 5 pick, but that's
sometimes you have to. Sometimes a man just has to talk about the Bears.
Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
And the 2 names outside the top, if they trade outside the top 5, the 2 names I want, Peter Skoronski, left tackle, Northwestern, literally in their backyard in Chicago, 4-year starter. I would say he's the best offensive lineman in this draft class. You could argue Paris Johnson from Ohio State. I prefer Skoronski. He was a 4-year starter. Jackson Smith-Njigba, like he was the number 1 wide receiver at Ohio State when Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave were there.
Wait, where's he rumored to go right now?
Who?
What
Smith-Njigba is like, I've heard he could fall to round 2. I've heard he could go in picks like 10 to 20. If the Bears are picking 10 to 20, I take him. That's all I'm gonna say. And if he has a good
assuming they move back to 2 and they've got picks in 10 to 20. Something like that.
If they have picks in 10 to 20, you fucking capitalize on Jackson Smith-Njigba. Him or Jordan Addison, you take one of them and you develop a number 1 receiver. But if you're picking top 5, you need to go defensive line because the defensive line talent.
Man, if they can get a mid-late first and a second, snag that O-line kid you're talking about. You told me about this guy. You've shown me his
Skoronski,
shit. I know you're talking about. My memory is what it is.
And the thing is, like,
but I want that kid. I've seen Smith-Njigba. I've seen his shit. I want that kid getting dimes from Fields. I want that every fucking game. And obviously, Anderson or Carter. I lean more Anderson nowadays. But either one.
I'm more of an Anderson guy nowadays.
Shut up. No, these days.
But if you're gonna watch one of these guys' tape,
these days, we used to be Jalen Carter, but we don't.
We don't.
We gotta go the other way.
We don't talk about Jalen Carter anymore. That's not in right now.
He's not in right now with the times.
Yeah. And like I said, I just want the NFL offseason to really, really kick off because there's so many moving pieces. Like it's gonna be like I thought last offseason was crazy. This offseason could be just as crazy.
Yeah,
like think about it. Aaron Rodgers could move. Lamar Jackson's probably gonna move, which is crazy to think about. Jalen Ramsey's gonna move.
Where do you think he's fucking going to? Lamar Jackson, if you're just to pick a team off the top of your head, the 1 or 2 even.
They keep saying Atlanta, and I see the fit. They have the picks. They have every piece there except the quarterback right now.
I wouldn't hate Kyle Pitts from Lamar Jackson.
Pitts, no. You keep Pitts. You give them.
I'm saying those 2 together.
Oh yeah, no. So it's like him, Pitts, Drake London, Cordell Patterson. Like that's a fun.
Patterson. They have fucking Patterson, bro. How old is Patterson?
He's in his 30s, but the guy could still play. So who cares?
Dude, he's my. He is
like number 1
spiritual successor to Devin Hester. Yeah,
number 1 vibes player.
He's my Devin Hester Jr.
And that guy loved being a Bear.
You're still
That's the one thing that made me sad. He loved being a Bear. Like he was always
Cordell
recruiting dudes.
Patterson?
Like I loved it, and he does it for the Falcons
yeah.
too, which is hilarious. Like the guy is the guy you want on your team. But Falcons would probably be a choice. Honestly, if I'm, you know what, I'm just gonna be blunt. Any of those NFC South teams. I'm talking Falcons. I'm talking Panthers. I'm talking Bucks, and I'm talking Saints. Any of those teams can make a move for him because all those teams, that division is so wide open.
Yeah.
Like, any of those teams could make a move.
I feel like Carolina with how
Lamar with Frank Reich and them. Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
And
but,
like Lamar,
dude, look at how knee jerk they've been in Carolina. Who says they won't just go get Lamar?
Like, dude, they were in on Deshaun Watson last year. Like, this is why I say it's going to be all the NFC South because Atlanta and Carolina and New Orleans were in on Deshaun last year. New Orleans is already in on Derek Carr. Like these teams need a new quarterback, and the Bucks just had Brady retire. So unless they're tanking this year, they should probably go get a quarterback. So,
hey guys, I've actually decided I want to play football again. I'm back on the Buccaneers, and my good pal Rob.
He officially filed his retirement paperwork, so he's actually retired now. So unfortunately,
okay.
And also he's getting paid like
you were saying
$35 million
in
from
the
Fox,
sense of you yourself.
Like, have you seen his broadcast rights deal, Pierce?
Sorry.
Have you seen Tom Brady's broadcast rights deal?
Oh yeah, I did.
Like $35 million a year. Like, trust me, the guy's hanging him up. He's never coming back.
No, he's good, dude. He's the GOAT.
Like, he's got 7 rings, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Pierce, that's a job wide open for you. You've watched a lot of Joe Burrow the last year.
Quarterback of the Bucs. Let's go, bro. Pierce is gonna be slinging those things to Mike Evans. Let's go. I'm excited. I'm gonna get Nick on here. Nick's gonna be your number one hype man. It's gonna be
Pierce,
great.
There's like nobody can prepare for you because nobody's ever gotten into the league the way you.
There's no film. There's no film.
Literally.
There's no film. Yeah, there's no film on
They
you,
won't
dude.
watch it.
Have you watched the Family Guy episode where Peter Griffin becomes a football player with the Patriots? I'll literally be me. I'll just be like just running through everyone, and they won't be able to tat. Yeah, I'm just a.
You and Vita Vea, just fucking dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw you, Vita Vea, and Chris on the D line, and it's gonna be the nastiest D line you've ever seen in your life. And then Jimmy's gonna be middle linebacker because he's got the speed. Steve Conroy told me.
I've got the body for a running back, maybe.
You don't need the body. It's all about the brain. It's all about the mind. It's all about the determination, Jimmy.
And the grit.
That's all you need, bud. If your brain is there and ready to go, if you are mentally prepared to lose your brain power, then yes, you can join the NFL. Sorry, I'm in a very weird spot with the NFL after reading that Byron Jones stuff. That's crazy. For those who don't know, Byron Jones is basically just like called out the NFL for all like the pills and shots they shoot him up with when they're hurt. Because this guy had, for reference, Pierce, I don't know if you've heard about Byron Jones, when he was coming out of the draft, was an Olympian for his broad jump. Like longest broad jump in United States history. This guy can't jump like that anymore because the amount of Toradol they've shot him up with and the amount of pills they've given him for his injuries over the years. And now he has to retire 8 years later. And he was one of the best corners in football, made $100 million on his contract. Has to retire 8 years in. Yeah. Like the NFL is just like a mind-boggling sport when you look at it in a vacuum. Like no guaranteed contracts. These guys put their bodies on the line arguably more than any other sport.
Dude, we think the NHLPA is shit. Oh,
they're all
God.
bad.
Yeah.
All those PAs are bad.
Yeah.
As long as it lines their pockets, they don't care. Unless it's the NHL and it doesn't even line your pockets, then you just kind of suck.
Does none of that.
And then you owe the owners money, apparently, which is still fucking hilarious to me that they owe the ownership group money to like help escrow or some shit.
Yeah,
fucking hilarious.
Like, then they won't pay that back till 2027. Then maybe the
Ducks are up 3-2 with 3 minutes to go. I'm sorry.
Get excited, Ducks Hive. Let's go.
Ducks Hive needs to get it going. Troy Terry. Oh, Devils are up 5-0. Sorry, I'm getting extremely sidetracked. Hey, Drew Jarkera's back tonight. Let's go. Get excited, Hawks Nation.
Don't ever trade him.
Don't get in a fight tonight, please.
Yes, can he just? He's actually a decent hockey player. He needs to like not.
Jared Panordi getting in a fight after he got how many?
Oh, that frustrated me so much, dude. Like we know you're tough, dude. You don't have to do that. Yeah. Like. And now
Charlie Otis was like, "You didn't have to fight. Like, we get you're tough. Like, don't fight when you just went through it.
Like, we get it, dude. Fuck.
After you got your face broken, like, please don't."
And I don't even know how Reese Johnson got a concussion. He's on IR now. Poor guy. Like, hopefully that ends up well.
You know what? We've been shitting all the Blackhawks. So I want to bring something somewhat positive. Dude, Cole Gutman. I loved Cole Gutman.
Dude, Cole Gutman looks great, dude. Like
He looks like he belongs as a center, and he's like 5'9". Like
That's a good fucking player, man.
He's got good chemistry with Radish right now. Like I like everything I see from him right now.
Dude.
And now he's gonna get a power play look tonight, which I'm actually kind of curious about. I want to see.
Wally said he reminds him of Hagel, diamond in the rough, and I think he's absolutely right. I'm not trying to jump the gun, but dude, that kid's got
maybe
skill.
not the foot.
That kid's got
but
skill.
like that work ethic. That
Dude,
I don't think they're the same player, but
pucks.
just they're similar in a lot of ways. Sure, but I think it's more just their development curve is very pretty odd.
Kind of late bloomer kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'd
like to see him on like a workhorse line. Like I know he just got knocked out of the lineup, but like if we could have saw him with like Lafferty and Dickinson, I feel like that could have been like a really
that's
interesting
like
because like that line's not gonna blow you away, but they're gonna work their ass off and they're probably gonna annoy the shit out of you.
Also, that kid's shot is fucking good.
Oh my god, that shot against the Leafs was incredible. And then he fucking has the breakaway
beautiful
goal
view
the
of
next
it.
game. Like it's crazy to think that the Hawks are on a 4-game win streak right now when we're talking about
like
the
frustrating,
playing fantastic lately. Like there's good stuff to talk about with the Hawks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The thing with Gutman is like, I think a lot of players like first NHL goals, it's like, oh yeah, I got a tip in front of the net.
Kirby Dox was off his knee. Like
yeah, exactly. But like Cole Gutman, usually as when you're a player that young, when you're on a 2-on-1, you're looking to probably pass it now. He said, fuck it, I'm shooting it myself, and he sniped it, dude.
Sniped
it. Yeah.
Tyler Johnson's been playing well lately. It's good to see him healthy again. Like there's positive notes on this team. It's just like the bad just overwhelmingly glares the good. Yeah. It's just
like you guys got to see the Hawks Leafs game that Sunday. How special was that? Like
dude, so Jimmy was over. It was Belchie and I in the seats in the third period because Jimmy was with Maddie and them. But like I looked at Belchie at one point and I was just like, yeah, I gotta take this in for a second. Because like this is the last time we're gonna see him. And you know what? This is actually perfect because we haven't told the story on the podcast. And so Jimmy, God bless him. I love you to death, Jimmy. You got me a beautiful Marian Hossa hat as a gift. And you were like, bro, wear it to the game tonight. And I was like, no. I'm not wearing a hat. I'm not wearing that hat. I'll wear a different hat because I said if Austin Matthews gets a hat trick, I'm throwing my fucking hat. Little did I know Patrick Kane is going to get a fucking hat trick and I'm in the lower fucking bowl. So I'm just like, I don't usually throw my hats on hat tricks. Like but like, I was like, I'm doing it tonight. And I threw my draft hat, which I'm kind of upset at now in hindsight. I should have worn the other hat, but I threw my draft hat. Blind.
Hey, don't worry, we'll get one in Nashville this year.
Oh yeah, we will get one in Nashville this year. But
yeah, let's go, boys. I'll get one too. Whatever. I want to be included.
I thought it was a 3-way high five, but
I thought it was a 2-way.
Pew, guys,
like and subscribe.
But when I threw the hat, it actually didn't make it. It didn't make it to the stands, and then some other guy had to throw it up there. But I saw it make it to the ice, so my hat did make it to the ice, thankfully. But
yes, sir.
It was a very fun game to go to in hindsight, because like for God's sake, Jimmy and I went to 9 games last year, and they won 1. So
wasn't it the Vegas one that they?
Yes, it was the fucking Vegas game. Like I don't get to see a lot of Hawks games where they actually like play well, so that was fun.
This year it's a rare. Like even Reagan got to see that.
Reagan got a great Arizona game. Like, man, like there's been some good watches this year. And honestly, like that Edmonton game we went to this year, Jimmy, that one was a crapshoot where McDavid got the hat trick and Draisaitl scored with like 30 seconds left. That game was crazy. That was a crazy game. Like, oh my gosh. Like, and you know what's funny?
One of the most wild fucking winners.
You know what? It's so funny looking back on that moment because I remember we all were looking at each other when Kane tied the game and he had that extra celebration. And I looked at you and I was like, I have never seen Kane celebrate like that for a regular season goal. And it's like, even moments like then, you could tell that he was already thinking about it. Like, shit, I'm not going to have many more moments like this. Like, dude, he had the hat trick on Sunday and skated by himself in the corner to like take it all in. Like, I know he's not shit, but like,
the next game, like,
winner should have counted. I'm sorry.
Shit ever. Yeah.
That overtime winner should have counted. God bless Tyler Johnson. Love him to death. Tied the game up and got the shootout winner because, I mean, that's what he does. But, like, Dude, if that could have been his last goal at the UC, that would have been awesome.
Mhm.
But it's just a hat trick goal instead. Oh well.
Oh no! Yeah. By the way, that game, the game you're talking about, the Oilers Blackhawks game, Thursday, October 27th.
Long time ago.
That seems like an eternity ago. That
It
is
was like game 6.
fucking crazy.
That was when the Hawks still had over 500 record.
Yeah, you're right.
That was when people were like, I don't know if they're taking this
Man,
year.
you know the game's good.
And then they lost like 19 of their next 23 or whatever.
Yeah, and they're only gonna get worse. Like,
It's okay though. They got bright spots on the team. Another bright spot is Kurashev's been playing very well lately, and the puck's finally starting to like bounce for him. So that's nice.
Mhm.
Because like Jimmy and I talk about it every time we're watching. We're just like, this guy gets chances every game. It's just they don't cash, and then the chances finally start to cash, and he starts getting the 2-on-1s, and it's like, it's nice to see those players get rewarded.
dude,
Man, Kurashev
was a great line. Like it.
He needs to get that finishing touch.
I just want to see Reichel
And-
up one more time with him and Domi.
I was gonna say, and get a decent line around them, like a
Dude, Kurashev, Reichel,
solid
Domi. If
unit.
we could have that line next year, that's a fun line.
Dude,
in
I
my
really
opinion.
hope they keep Domi. They got to keep.
Give him a
someone.
5x5. Like I'm so like, or 5x4, or 5.5 times 4.
Dude, give him a no movement. He loves Chicago. Like
He
with
wanted to play here.
Mhm. With everything that's been going on, keep someone who wants to be here. Don't trade him as well. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
no.
and I'm gonna be honest. I feel like that's why we're not hearing his name that much in trade rumors, because I think Davidson knows that. He's like, we're gonna keep this guy. Like unless someone gives us a 1, we're keeping him. And
Yeah,
and honestly, I'm here for that. Like last year, I got kind of frustrated when like they didn't move Strome or Kubalik, but like,
no one wanted them.
yeah, this is a clear situation of like the guy wants to stay here, and you need like. How many times are we gonna say you need fucking breathing bodies on this team the next couple of years?
Which is what they did with Zaitsev. Like they got a human body for next year that can play hockey supposedly, and like I even heard,
like a play hockey supposedly.
and I even
Oh,
heard
geez.
like Athanasiou, he's probably gonna get traded. I even heard he might come back. Like if he gets traded,
He's
might come
played
back.
well. He's actually played a lot better the last 2 weeks. He had a rough go there in
Yeah.
January, but I don't know, that line with him, Lafferty, and Dickinson, that was a very efficient line for what it was. I would say he had a couple over. He's gotten a couple more like the one thing my dad and I always joke about with him is like if his hands could move as fast as his feet do, he would be like one of the best players in the league. Because
Dude, it's almost like a Sperry Kapanen thing. Like you're so
it
fast, you
is.
can't handle the
It
puck.
so is. Oh my gosh, that is like the perfect comparison. Like that, like the goal that sums up under, or like the play that sums up his game this year is when
Yeah, we're
he had that
right to the net. Yeah.
breakaway against Montreal and skates himself right into the post.
What do you mean it didn't count? He literally skated like into the net.
What a I love him, but it's he has his moments to say the least. Hey, but for what he was, great signing. So
Dude.
well, I say it every time. The signings Davidson made in a tanking year are better than Bowman ever made in a contending year. Say it every time.
I don't get to hear Chris Foster say "AA fully charged" when he
Damn
says
it!
Love Chris, but that one's you know what? It's creative. It's cute. It's cute.
Yeah, I honestly like Chris Foster. Like, he's trying, dude.
I do too.
Yeah,
I like Chris
I like
Foster's,
him.
bro. I can't lie about it.
I can't even this guy's fucking like he has such big shoes to fill with Pat Foley and like Eddie.
Yeah, dude, Pat Foley.
Oh, he's doing
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't care. I've slandered him in the past, dude. Pat Foley. I've taken. I have. You know, it's been a while since I've talked about Pat Foley. I mean, fuck, dude. He's one of the best. Like, he's the best Chicago sports announcer of all time. I don't think like Bulls announcers I don't know well, so I can't speak on them. But at least in like the last 50 years, he's got to be the most iconic Chicago sports announcer.
Oh, we're definitely the Blackhawks, but who else of the
Oh,
yeah.
that's the thing. Well, I mean, in the radio, you've got oh my god, I forget his fucking
John
name. The
Wayne.
Bears radio guy is fucking great. He's
Linus
awesome.
Olmark just scored an empty netter goal.
Who
Linus Olmark just scored an empty netter goal.
in the NHL?
Yeah. The goalie on the Boston Bruins just scored an
Oh
empty netter
my
goal against
fucking
the
god!
Canucks.
My brain went to Linus Olmark. Dude,
like the guy who
what?
did this, wait, like the guy who
What?
did the spin around in the shootout with the Oilers? Is that who you were thinking of?
Yes.
No, the goalie on Boston just scored an empty net goal against the Vancouver Canucks.
The Canucks, dude. The Bruins, dude, it's been 12 years and they're still beating them up in embarrassing ways. Oh my God. Jack Edwards probably died on the mic.
I'm sorry, did I just see a Linus Olmark goal?
Yeah, we were literally just talking about that.
You said Linus Olmark, and I was like, whoa.
Linus Olmark, unanimous Vesna now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, dude, he has a friggin' goal. What can't he do
Dude,
now?
best save percentage,
tell him
best goals
tell him what
against,
I
and he's
thought
got a
you
goal.
were
Like,
saying.
sorry, he
Both
wins everything this year.
And he can provide offense too.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Oh my God. That makes me so happy. I love a goalie goal when it's not against the Blackhawks.
I'm pretty
Shout
sure.
out Belchi. He was at that game.
Oh my
We were talking about that. We were on Sunday. He was like, "Yeah, the last Hawks game I went to was when Pekka Rinne scored it, or like
boy.
before the Oiler game." He was like, "Yeah, the one I went to pre-pandemic was when Rinne got the empty netter." I was like, "Oh." But like they were cheering because like it's a fucking goalie goal. You're not gonna,
dude. It's like when a pitcher's throwing a no hitter. Like, you bring it back to baseball.
Friend, and they go, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Like the Bruins need more good stuff."
Oh no! You're telling me the Bruins are good?
I
just
got
love that,
like on the third pairing because we got Dimitri Orlov to play with McAvoy and now Lindholm.
Oh no! I just love that, like, we're probably the only, like, non-Bruins podcast that supports the Bruins this much. Like, I feel like it's...
No, I think we're pretty pro-Bruins, at least.
Oh, at least you and I are pro-Bruins. I don't know about a certain Leaf fan. Jimmy, that glare says 1,000 words. That glare said 1,000 words. You didn't even have to say anything.
The 1,000-yard stare, yeah.
Oh my God, that was fucking amazing. Just like doesn't even say a word, just looks up, death stare. Oh, we love Boston.
Did you see Brad Marchand? Like, he's real for this.
Yeah,
like,
I did see Brad Marchand. That's crazy. I saw him. Yeah, he's a player. I did watch him.
No, but he was like, "Oh yeah, we're having a great regular season, but like, no one cares if we don't win the playoffs." And I mean, he is.
I mean, he's right.
Yeah, he is.
Good job, Brad. Good job,
I mean,
Brad.
he should know they've won the President's Trophy
Brad.
like 3 times and not won a cup. So, like, this is not new territory for the Bruins, to say the least.
Yeah, that's the we talked about, it's been fucking when they missed the playoff. Did they miss the playoffs 2 years in a row, or was it one?
I think 2015 and 16 they missed it.
Yeah, and aside from that it was about like 14, or not 14, but like 15 to 17. It was kind of like wishy-washy, Well,
they were kind of
stay where they're going to go.
But then, oh no, they drafted David Pasternak and Charlie McAvoy.
Guys, I have the best stat of the night. Linus Olmark has the same number of goals today as Alex Kerfoot in his last 23 games. Get fucking excited, Lisa. The Ducks won. Let's go.
Let's go. Over the Sharks. I need to see it. It was something crazy before.
Dude, the Devils are up 7-0. Oh my God.
The shots were 52 to 15.
Julian Gauthier goal. Get excited. Oh, it's against the Flyers, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
And they had no goals in the first period. That's crazy.
Damn.
Jack Hughes is having such a good year, man. 37.
Dude, literally, if
Holy.
10 other players in front of him weren't having historic years, he might be a Hart
finalist, maybe.
Dude, there's so many freaking good players.
Dude, he's got 72 and 54. Like, holy shit. Actually, now it's 74 and 55.
We're so blessed with the amount of talent like in the NHL right now.
Did you see that tweet about Connor Bedard where they were just like, it's nice to know that Connor Bedard's like floor is Jack Hughes when he is now, and his ceiling is probably what Sidney Crosby is. Like,
yeah, or the other Connor. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, he just like the other Connor is just such an enigma, like no one's gonna have that kind of speed with that kind of skill ever again. I feel like they might have one or the other, but they're not gonna have both. And it's just it's a deathly combination.
Connor Bedard in 44 WHL games, 53 goals, 58 assists for 111.
that good? I think that's good.
Dude, he's on pace for 144 points in 57 games. That's stupid.
And then Adam Fantilli's got, I think, 51 and 31 this year.
And then friggin' Matvey Michkov is like over half a point per game in the KHL.
And then Leo Carlson started lighting it back up again in the SHL. Like
Yeah.
this, like we can't stress enough that this is a good draft class.
Dude.
It's just like get top 2. Let's not fuck
Dude,
around.
yeah.
Let's just get top 2.
And like
And if we don't, take Michkov.
That'll be really might be the ultimate testament of how.
Oh, if they have 3, that's
Yeah.
going to be the real like, what is this team going to do? Because
Yeah.
like 1 and 2, I feel like is pretty much wrapped up at this point,
Mhm.
unless Michkov goes on like some crazy fucking tear.
Yeah, even then, I don't think.
Dude, what Fantilli is on a higher pace than Eichel was his freshman year. Like it's
Mhm.
unbelievable. My favorite was like I saw Matthew Wood's stats, and it's like, oh yeah, he's about a point a game now. That's good. And they're like, yeah, he's second among draft eligible
Well,
forwards.
that's the same with Andrew Crystal. It's like, oh, he has one of the best WHL scoring seasons in like ever. I think.
Yeah, I
And
hope I don't
Connor
look at him
Bedard's, like,
for what is.
almost a point per game better than him. That's okay.
It's
Good.
not okay, dude. It's not okay. Like, oh my god. I'm super excited to see how this draft falls out.
Oh yeah, and just that Zach Benson fella, you know.
Oh, that Zach Benson fella can play, and that's not even including like Will Smith, who's like 2 points a game right now.
Dude,
and
he's scoring at the same pace as Jack Hughes did.
wild.
Dude,
And
he's
it's funny because like if you talk to some people, they don't even think he's the best forward on that line. They say
Dude,
he's-
they think people are like Oliver Moore.
I mean, Oliver Moore's a stud. Don't get me wrong. I can
Dude,
see
his
him
skating,
going.
he's the best skater in the draft.
I could see him going as high as like 5 or 6 if like a team really likes him. I just don't think he goes top 5 personally. Could see him go top 10 though. 100%.
Top 10, definitely. Yeah.
Like Oliver Moore at like 7th overall. Like that's such a San Jose pick. Like, actually, I don't know. Mike Greer's got a very interesting draft approach from what we've seen. So I'm curious. That's going to be a fun team to watch draft time in San Jose because they're actually going to have picks this year. So.
They traded back. They with Arizona in Montreal because then
that was the Connor Geeky trade, right?
Yeah, and then they got Geeky and then I think the Sharks got Bystedt and I think Matthias Havlin, another Swede.
Yep,
with those picks.
Not a bad draft. Just interesting approach to say the least. That his first draft he traded down. I didn't think he was going to do that.
Yeah. Oh, but I think I personally would have kept the pick. But
like I get you need more draft capital. I get that. Like,
yeah, because the Sharks really need that.
I'm
Sharks
sorry.
are like
I've just
the
been
Hawks
chilling
right
on my
now.
phone. You guys are cooking. I'm just relaxing.
You know what? No,
You're good,
that was me when you guys were talking.
You're here
I'm
to
not
make
gonna
a
lie. I've
Jimmy.
been
You bring the
it has
looks
been
to
a
the pod.
rough
You're good.
week. It has been a rough fucking week, and I'm just happy to vibe. I'm just
Jimmy,
happy.
you
to
make us
hit a
look
fucking
prettier.
10.
It's all good.
I try my best.
You're our spokesman.
You mean spokes kind genderless individual.
What is it?
Kind
sorry,
genderless individual. Kind
genderless individual. That's what
That's me.
that's
baby.
our favorite kind genderless individual.
That's my they them right there.
That's my they them.
No, what was it? Belching said he's like, don't let them look. They're a sensitive they them. That's our precious they
He's
them.
so funny.
Good old man.
Belchi is like the definition of good vibes. Holy shit.
He's a good man.
We should get him on the show one of these days.
Dude, we're just gonna drag him to Nashville. That's the
I
problem.
know.
Is he coming to the
it's gonna
draft
be-
too?
That's what we're trying to do right now.
Oh, it's
And I need to see him in his Family Guy shirt. Even
Dude,
though
Dude, back-to-back days, he wore like the
if
funniest
we don't
shirts
all
ever. I
have
was
those
dying
shirts
laughing.
by then, that's a shame.
Dude,
wore that
need
one?
to all buy- yeah, we
Guys,
need to buy our own shirt, the same
If
shirt.
we don't buy those shirts for the draft, we're fucking idiots.
I'm a
And
fan.
we are wasting every.
Wait,
bit-
that one of
bit
the Broncos
value
country
from it.
one.
Just literally.
Oh, that would be a
white
good one. I'll buy
shirts.
something like that.
That would low so still.
No, we're gonna all buy the Family Guy shirts and then recreate the Blue Jays photo with them. Pierce, you're gonna be the guy in the middle going like this.
Dude, I'll be Alec Manoa.
We wanted to take a picture like that with all of our Leafs jersey, but I was like, I feel so dirty taking this picture for the first time and Pierce not being the middleman because like
No,
you
yeah.
have to be the middle Blue Jays guy with his
Yeah.
legs
I have
crossed
to
and
be
his
Alec.
arms out.
That's Alec Manoa. I have to.
You got to be Alec Manoa, just like me and the. Yeah, you have to be the middle, dude. You have to. We're gonna do like a PJS cast photo shoot, and it's just gonna be that photo.
my favorite pictures. Like,
Bro, it's just a vibe.
dude, they're all so happy. That's why I love the Blue Jays. Yeah, it's Manoah sitting in the center, then it's Alejandro Kirk, and then Jordan Romano, and then Santiago Espinal. Oh god, that's just such a great picture.
Dude, the Hurricanes have 52 shots. Oh my god.
That was like when they lost to Nashville the other time, where they got like 60-something shots.
Anaheim had 15.
They tripled their shots. Yeah,
That's terrible. Oh my god. Well, now they're gonna throw in that extra prospect for Meyer tonight. By the way, have you heard that thing with the Sharks that like the driving point right now with the Devils is they want Dawson Mercer? Like, that can't be right. I've heard Frank Saravalli say that like he's gonna get a lesser return than what DeBrincat got. So like, but also DeBrincat got a top 10 pick, so you have to remember that. Like,
hey, and a second-round pick. Hey, and an
early second, yeah,
24th third-round
too. I mean, 2024. Who the fuck knows what the Sens are gonna be doing next year? Who knows? Josh Norris might only play 10 games again. That's crazy. Josh Norris has been horrendously banged up this year. I feel bad for them because like that really puts a wrench in like what that Senators forward crew was supposed to be. Like, you take away the arguably second line center, probably maybe first line center. It's kind of hard to.
Would you look
come
at
back
that?
from
Rucker McGroarty scored a goal for Michigan. I literally did what you said. I'm like,
dude, it's good. It's good. It's good notifications, honestly. Like I started following them like a couple weeks ago, and like they really actually like they basically commentate the game. It's
dude,
even
great. If like we didn't have Nazar on our team, like Michigan
have so much
in general would be a fun team to watch because they're so friggin' good. That'd be like same thing with Seattle, the Thunderbirds. They're maybe one. I'm looking into that. I'm gonna try to do an article like looking at some of the best CHL teams of all. Like, dude, that team's gotta be right up there.
Dude, those London Knight teams have to be up there too.
Yeah,
like
the 2016 London Knights, Dvorak, I think, Kachuk.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Even the Erie Otters, they had obviously Strome, Radish, yeah,
Connor Brown,
Brinkett, Connor Brown, yeah, and I don't think they're all
Darren Radish.
Yeah. McDavid was on the team, but like they weren't all playing together at once. But like they had some good players there for a few years.
What's funny is like I thought that like Kootenay had a really good team for a while, but it just like it always seemed like they had good talent a couple years ago, and it just never formed like a super team when they had like Krebs and like Savoie and all.
They have a good team now. The Ice Winnipeg Ice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not Kootenay anymore. They're Winnipeg.
Yeah. And then Kamloops has a solid team as well.
Logan Stinky Oven.
Stinky Oven. Man, he's not going to be
everyone's favorite short. Everyone's favorite short king.
And he's going to be in our division for fucking 10.
No, they're going to trade him for some bum in 2 years.
Sam Lafferty, let's go!
My favorite is every time Sam Lafferty news breaks and Mork gets super pissed. He's just like, don't be the Lightning, please. And I'm just like, oh, yes.
It's so funny when I see Lightning's fans on my time. I'm like, yo, we're going to team up with fucking what? You traded everything for Hagel.
What, a 2025 first? Like,
yeah. My
boy Isaac Howard, who's like not even that good this year.
Literally, it'd be like Florida. Florida teams just won't draft draft ever, like the Panthers and the Lightning.
They just vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you're a market like Florida, it's kind of easier to do that because like once guys get to the point where they're UFAs, like I got to imagine there's a bunch of people that are like, I'm sick of playing in Canada. I'm gonna go play in Florida. Like, I got to imagine it's not that hard to market playing in Sunrise 41 games out of the year. Same way I just like. As much as it is the desert, like playing in Arizona can't be that bad.
No, it can't be that bad. No,
like you gotta. It's at least living wise. Like obviously you're playing in a shithole, but like you're changing in an actual fucking curtain. Like I don't.
Dude, literally, you're going to the janitor's closet. I'm like, yeah,
literally,
all my shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once again, Connor Bedard cannot be an Arizona Coyote.
No, and that's not even like jealousy.
Yeah,
that's just like I can't see him in an arena.
For the good of the sports.
You said it best, Pierce.
No,
they sold out the fucking Saddle
arena.
Dome to go see Connor Bedard. And he would be in an arena that fills out, what, 3,500 seats?
That's not an arena. That's a rink.
Yeah, exactly. It's a joke. It's a rink. That's so true. Like,
so it's just so frustrating, man. That I can't believe the league is like has this situation, bro. Like
Because they gotta wait 3 years to get their real arena, Jimmy. Come
Dude, I want to
on.
bring this. I want to bring this back to the baseball. The Arizona Coyotes or the Oakland Athletics. Like the Oakland Athletics, they have a real like I looked at their attendance,
terrible.
like 10,000 average.
Because like, there's one thing to like not buy a bunch of players. Like the Rays do that, but the Rays also are extremely good at scouting and developing.
Dude, look at their pitching in Tampa. The Rays. So
yeah, dude. Like if you don't want to pay players, at least try to develop them.
Yeah.
Oakland doesn't even do that.
No,
and if they do
not.
develop them, they try to shove them out the door as fast as possible because they don't want to pay them.
Matt
Olson.
Olson. Bye. Matt Chapman on the
Bye.
Blue Jays. Bye for nothing. Just a bunch of guys.
Who was their second baseman? Like he was gone too. Like it's
everyone. Yeah, they had Chris Bassett too. Bye.
The fact that they haven't been good since the Moneyball years should tell you. And you know what the worst part is? Those fucking schmucks still beat the White Sox in the playoffs 2 years ago. God, I hate this. Those fucking loser schmucks beat the Sox in the COVID year. I hate that.
Dude, I'm pretty sure the Blue Jays lost to the Rays in the COVID year too. And then the Rays lost to the Dodgers in the World Series. By the way, the Dodgers, they had so many damn good teams. Like, and they only got one World Series, and that was in the COVID year. Like,
definition of a Mickey Mouse team. I mean,
almost like the Capitals, kind of, in a way. Yeah, you won a World Series, but like you wasted so many good years. Anyways, I think that's a good place to end it off, gentlemen. It was nice doing it. It was cathartic doing this. Like I think it was the Thursday where there was that report like, oh yeah, there's a trade being worked out for Kane. I'm just like, oh, get this over with. And I remember that day, not only was I dealing with that, I had to deal with stuff from work, and I was like switching stuff over from my phone. Like I was switching my SIM card because we're like switching things. So like, I'm not paying like $100 a month for my phone, only $50 now. And I'm just like, I can't handle all this at once right now. And that day was just so stressful. And then, but it was nice to talk it all out on the podcast. And it's, again, I just need to see it happen now. Like I've accepted things are
rip the Band-Aid off.
Just rip it off now.
I'd have to imagine if it doesn't happen by Monday night, I'd be surprised. Because like they're waiting for Lecision to clear waivers, and like from everything we've heard, everything's lined up when Kane says yes. So whenever he says yes, that trade's gonna happen.
Yep. Again, like I said so many times, everything's all about official. So
whatever. Yeah. Rip the Band-Aid off. I'm ready to move on.
I am too. Right. I am.
Jimmy's ready to move on too, as he stands there stoically.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I feel bad for you, Jim Bob.
Oh no, I'm just taking this whole thing in, man.
It's a lot. Like it's a lot. No matter what you think.
It's like I'm not even like sad. I'm just like, I think I'm more just like taken aback. Like it is a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. It's.
Everyone's gonna handle it differently. Like it's just the way it is. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's passing of the new guard, and not that there's a new guard yet, but you know it's
a new era, end of an era. Literally, that's
what
it is.
Yeah, you can't deny that. Not in one way.
And it would be nice if you could look at the end of an era in a good way, but there's a lot of shit that's happened in the last 15 years. There's a reason everyone's reacting differently. So like, I don't want people to like get mad at other Hawks fans because they react differently. You know what I mean? Because like I've seen people do that where they're like, I don't know why you're so against like Kane leaving and shit. He's a franchise cornerstone. Or I've seen people be like, you know, why can't you accept that he's gonna leave? Blah blah blah. Like everyone can have a different opinion on what's going on. Reality of the fact is he's gone. The franchise is going to move on. It's just the way it is. Maybe some of us don't like the way it went. Some of us knew this was the way it had to go. If it was going to happen to Sal, it's going to happen. And that's how it is at the end of the day.
Reality.
By the way,
it's not a whole lot of
hope says puck drop might be
oh yeah, because they have the Marlowe retirement night. Right?
Oh yeah, the fucking game was
it's like happen. 10:30 puck drop.
It's gonna be 10 o'clock.
Wait, 10 Central? Holy shit, it's 11
another hour?
11 p.m. puck drop Eastern? What the fuck?
Wait
it's not as big of a sport as the other market.
I sometimes I sit there and think to myself, like, are Taves and Kane really gonna get statues? And then guys like Dustin Brown and Patrick Marleau are
No,
getting
they're getting
ceremonies
fucking
like this.
There's
They're
no
getting
debate
fucking
about that.
statues.
Yeah,
Like, this is
no.
ridiculous. And
Chris
yeah,
Neil got his
they're
number
gonna be
retired.
tainted statues. I'm not even gonna deny that. Like, might as well just put a fucking asterisk next to him at this point. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, not gonna lie, I think I told you, Jimmy, I looked up at the fucking Hossa banner and I was like, it's a little weird. Not gonna lie. This is a little weird. Because, like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's just how it's gonna be for all these guys, because they're all gonna get hung up there. So I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore, guys. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't. I don't mean to keep going in circles, but it's just like
there aren't enough words, and then there are no words to describe like what's happening right now. It's quite the paradox.
I can't remember the last time a franchise that has had these type of franchise cornerstones go out like this. Like, it's very hard for me to think. Like, even Brady and Belichick didn't go out like that. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, I might test the waters after this year, and then he left.
No, I don't think there was much.
This whole thing has been pulling teeth for 18 months. Like, I don't think there's any other comparison. At least in hockey, there hasn't been, in my opinion. Like, Gretzky didn't get treated like this out the door. I know that damn much. They probably just hit him. They probably just pulled at the brinket and hit him by surprise. Like, I'm just saying, like, this just like why we're all feeling such a different way about this. Like, we could, like, clearly, like, each one of us has a different approach to this whole situation, and that should summarize just how unique of a situation this is. And I'm not saying it in a good way. I'm saying it's unique as, like, this just doesn't happen. Like, like Peyton Manning, when he got showed the door, wasn't even like this. And he had neck surgery, and they drafted his fucking predecessor, number 1. Or his, not predecessor, you know what I mean. Like, his
successor.
Thank you. Successor. Whatever.
Gentlemen.
I don't mean to keep going in circles, guys.
Yeah, gentlemen.
I know we talk.
It was great doing this with you guys. I want the trade deadline to be over. Like, we'll do the stream and stuff, but I want the trade deadline to be over. I feel once we really get to March, the games are going to be more like we've started to see games where it's like, yeah, that's kind of got a playoff feel to it. I can't wait for the playoffs, dude. I can't wait for
that Boston Kraken game this last week. Oh, great game. Great game.
I can't wait for baseball to start. Like, I'm looking forward to just move on from
football off season. There's going to be some crazy stuff going on.
The draft too. Like, there's going to be the playoffs, and I'm just looking forward to
NFL draft.
Next 2 months are going to be very fun. Frozen Four is coming up too. CHL playoffs, like,
dude, the Memorial Cup. Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to.
Mandalorian season 3.
Dude, Mandalorian season 3 is Wednesday. That shit snuck up on me, Jimmy. Like, oh my god. I was like sitting there last Monday. They were like, Mandalorian's 10 days away. I was like, what? Like, when did this happen?
You found out that Jon Favreau's a bad world.
Oh yeah, Jon Favreau's recommending everyone to go watch a YouTube video because he wanted to put a
bad world builder
in the book of Boba Fett and not the Mandalorian. That's a whole nother story. I'm not getting into that.
Yeah,
let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up. All right, guys.
And the Mandalorian. That's all I'm blaming it off on.
So we'll be doing our trade deadline live stream on the Friday. So don't forget to tune in. That we'll probably do one more podcast before then. But to anyone who's listening, I hope things are going well. Please give us a 5-star rating, all that stuff, and give us positive reviews to make us feel good about ourselves because we're a little down right now. But no, real. Thank you for tuning in and listening to us ramble on and rant about a bunch of shit. So take care, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your night.